By Septien as a line drive to keep right at the goal line. To the 5, to the 10, to the right sideline, 20, 25, 30, sidestep, breaks a tackle, and out of bounds. On the 36-yard line, almost the 37-yard line. Danny White makes that Septien the kicker, and Bruce Hutter, the two men that made the tackle, will wait till they spot the ball. It'll be between the 36 and 37. And it's going to be the 37, so it's a 37-yard return by Keith Wright. The city is alive tonight for this football game. They've been roaring for an hour. Rutgers a slot left. Logan split to the left. Newsom out a half step at right end. They shift into the T. The Pruitt's the running backs. Sight gives the Biggs the handoff. Back to throw. Right flat and throws it out of bounds to Greg Pruitt. He was covered very well by Henderson out on the left flat, and the middle linebacker, Bruning, was also drifting out in the area. Reggie Rucker had gone deep, but he was covered. Very wisely, Sight threw it out of bounds.
On that particular play, Reggie Rucker, I think, in the middle was the primary receiver, but as you said, that Dallas defense had him covered. And then Brian Sight looked over to Greg Pruitt, who was his safety valve, and he too was covered, so he got rid of the football.
Browns line up in the I and shift to the T. Rucker's the flanker to the right. Logan out 4 to the left. Rucker starts in motion to the left. Newsom is tight at right end. Big handoff, bootleg by Sight, drops the ball, picks it up, and gets it at the 38 for a yard gain. I don't know if that was planned. It very possibly was, but Brian dropped the ball. Now it'll be 3rd down and 9.
I think what Brian did that time was just not have a handle coming out from underneath the center with the football.
Cleo Miller is in at fullback, replacing Mike Pruitt, and he took in a play to Brian Sight. 3rd down and 9. This is one of those positions you don't want to be in against the Dallas defense, especially Randy White and Harvey Martin. Formation, Rucker flank to the right, Logan split 5 to the left, they shift into the T. Newsom is tight at right end. Sight back in the pocket. He sets. Throws it over the middle. Caught. Threw it to the 50. 45 Dallas, 40-yard line. Out of bounds on the Dallas 35-yard line. Greg Pruitt chopped the ball over the middle, going full speed, and it's a 27-yard completion.
Well, what they did that time, they got Brian had Greg Pruitt circling out of the backfield and hoping to get him isolated on the linebacker 1-1, and that's exactly what they did. The linebacker had no chance of catching up with Greg, and he turned that one into a big gain and a 1st down. Very important.
Nose of the ball on the 35-yard line. Logan splits 10 to the left. Rucker's a slot to the left. Newsom tight at right end, and they shift out of the I to the T. Mike Pruitt's back at fullback. Handoff. Mike Pruitt, left tackle. Gets about 2 to about the 34, making a yard rather to the 34-yard line. And he was clogged up as he tried to hit the right side by D.D. Lewis, the right linebacker, and by Danny White, the right tackle. They put the ball right on the 35-yard line, so he really didn't get any gain on the play. A couple of feet, but not officially a yard. Newsom's tight at right end, Rucker's slot left. Logan splits about 6 yards to the left. They shift into the T. Rucker in motion to the right. Sight back in the pocket. Flips it right sideline. Rucker's got it out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and he is about 6-8 inches short of a 1st down, if that much. 9 yards plus on the play. They'll bring the sticks the width of the field to see if it's a 1st down, but I think it's a few inches short.
Well, Rucker just went down and out, and he got himself turned in front of Benny Barnes that time. Barnes playing loose, obviously protecting against the long game. That's the toughest pattern in pro football for a defensive man to cover.
Well, they got the 1st down. It looked a little short. 1st down, call it the 25. Newsom out about a yard at right end. Now Logan will split out to the left about 6 yards. Flanker to the right, Rucker. They're in the I. Give to Greg Pruitt right up the middle of a right guard and hits about the 23-yard line. Gain of a couple. Tackle made by Larry Cole, the left end, and Thomas Henderson, the left linebacker. Thomas Henderson makes a lot of noise. He talks a lot, but he is an excellent football player. He's only projecting an image.
I think a lot of times folks say that when a player talks as much as Hollywood does, that he's covering up deficiencies. That's not the case with him. He is a good football player, and he proved that last year in the playoffs.
Second down, 8. Logan split left. Rutgers swap left. Newsom tight at right end. They're in the deep. Sight back to throw. He drills it. Rutgers knocked down at the 5, and no flags go down. He was knocked to the ground by Benny Barnes, the left linebacker, but no flags went down, and the ball went whistling into the end zone. It is going to be 3rd and 8.
Brian, of course, was anticipating that Rucker was breaking out to the outside, but actually what Rucker did was he lost his footing and slipped underneath Benny Barnes on the coverage.
Here comes Mike Pruitt out of the game, and Calvin Hill has gone into fullback, a former Cowboy. 3rd down, 8. The Browns are in field goal range. Rucker, flank right, Logan split 5 to the left. Newsom's out, a couple of right end in the tee. Back to throw it, Sight as he's hit. He throws. Logan got it. He's down for a touchdown. What a catch by Dave Logan. Right over Aaron Kyle. Touchdown, Cleveland.
You can hear the crowd reacting. The Browns, with their initial possession, marched 63 yards in 8 plays. And Brian Sight hit David Logan on the outside. He made a leaping catch over the defensive man, who happened to be Aaron Kyle, and just sidestepped it into the corner of the end zone. The Browns go on top.
Dallas had a blitz on, and Sight was nailed. He never saw it land. Cockcroft on for the point. Logan holding. 12:20 to play. First quarter. Kicks up. It is no good. It is off to the left. There's an official. Timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 6, the Cowboys nothing.
Fred, remember the bowling ball you borrowed last winter?
No. Wait a minute. Got it right here in the trunk of my car. Stand back.
I didn't know you were moving, Fred.
No, nothing like that. Just got a few things in the old trunk, that's all.
A few things. I hate to tell you, Fred, but that's a rolling flea market.
Here, Bert, you hold the snowshoes. I think it's back here behind the Outboard Motors House.
A lot of people use the trunk of their car as a portable storeroom. Trouble is, it can be pretty expensive storage. At Gulf, we know carrying around that extra weight hurts your gas mileage. In fact, for every 100 pounds you can get out of your car, it's possible to save enough gas in a year to go an extra 200 miles. I didn't know you played golf.
So Gulf recommends that you clean out that trunk. And if you can, remove those extra luggage carriers or ski racks. You'll get better mileage when you do, and that's smart. Because at Gulf, we think it's smart to get the most out of the gas you buy and the place you buy it. So drive smart.
I think I told you. Fred?
Well, we said an early lead would be important here, and the Browns took care of that in their initial possession following the kickoff. They went 63 yards in 8 plays. Sight to Dave Logan for 23 yards and a touchdown. Don Cockcroft missed the point after, wide to the left. Now the Cowboys will get their hands on the football. They have got back to receive on the far side Ron Springs, a rookie out of Ohio State. On the near side, Steve Wilson, a rookie from Howard University. Don Cockcroft now has it up and ready to go. Brian Sight hit 3 of 5 for 60 yards in that drive.
The kick is up. It is short to the left. Ron Springs under it at the 10. 15. Weathers hits him once. Then he's nailed by 3 of the Browns. Weathers hit him first. Then he was hit by John Smith and Ricky Feature, all the receivers for the Browns. And all have made the specialty teams what they are today. 10-yard advance on the return of the kickoff. First and 10 Dallas on the 20-yard line. It'll be Tony Hill and Drew Pearson as wide receivers. Billy Joe Dupree as the tight end. Staubach the quarterback. Scott Laidlaw replacing the injured Robert Newhouse at fullback. Tony Dorsett is the halfback or the tailback. They shift into the T. Pearson is the flanker to the left. Hill is split about 5 to the right. Handoff comes to the fullback. Laidlaw up over left guard and tackle. Gets about 6 yards, maybe 7, close to the 27-yard line. Scott and Alzado made the tackle up front for Cleveland. Mike Sinclair, Mickey Sims, Jerry Shirk, Lyle Alzado. The linebackers left to right, Charlie Hall, Dick Ambrose, and Clay Matthews. The cornerbacks are Ron Bolton and Oliver Davis. And it'll be Clarence Scott and Tom Darden at safeties. And now Doug Cosby, a rookie from Santa Clara, is in at tight end. Gain of 7 on the play. Second down and 3, and now they shift into the I. And that pitch to Dorsett. Right in. He's nailed. Pulled off on the 24-yard line. Mike St. Clair knight through to make the tackle. He got help from Mickey Sims, the left tackle, the left side of the line. Came through the blocking. A loss of 3. Third down, 6.
Cowboys tried to cross block that time on that left side of the Browns defense, and it just didn't work. St. Clair was very stubborn about his position. So was Mickey Sims, and Dorsett ran right into him.
Now the Browns go to their prevent defense. Springs is in at halfback. Salty's a tight end. Preston Pearson's in now at a halfback, and they're going out of the shotgun. A direct snap will come to Roger Staubach. Gets it. Back. Set. Looks. Whips it. It is incomplete. Might have been deflected, intended for Springs, and I believe Ricky Jones deflected the ball away from him, and the Cowboys will have to punt after 3.
I tell you, Ricky Jones had him covered step for step that time. Whether or not he got a hand on it, we're not sure, but had he pulled the pass down, Jones would have nailed him short of the first down anyway.
Danny White will do the punting for the Dallas Cowboys. Keith Wright goes back in single safety at the 35-yard line. The Browns lead 6-0, 10:47 remaining in the first quarter. The Browns scored the first time they had the ball. The pass that scored was sight to Logan. Now White waiting for the snap to shade high, but the kick is away, and it's a good one. Wright is back, got it on the 27. Up the middle he comes to the 30, and he is hit hard on the 39-yard line. Boy, he almost got doubled up. 49-yard punt, a 12-yard return, and there is an official timeout on the field with the score. Cleveland 6, Dallas nothing.
Now, Mr. Parker, you're asking us, a brilliant business consulting firm.
How I can increase business.
Build community identity.
Make my company stand out.
And let everyone know you're a big cheese.
Exactly.
Fine. Now, sit still as I break this farm fresh egg on your lap.
Hey, wait a minute.
Rabbit legs, fellas.
My new suit.
Okay, what's the color of the yolk?
It's yellow.
Right. That'll be $60 an act.
Wait, I don't get it.
Then get this, Mr. Parker. Come on, guys.
Boy, put me down. Are we talking about Ohio Bell yellow pages?
Right. They mean business, Mr. Parker. Lots of people use them, and people use them a lot.
But what about my suit?
He's very exactly, Mr. Parker.
Well, the Browns held the Cowboys on Dallas's first offensive possession. Great plays by Mike St. Clair on a run by Dorsett, and Ricky Jones on a flat pass from Staubach were the reasons that the Cowboys did not pick up a first down. And here come the Browns leading 6-0, first and 10 at the Rome 39.
Logan is the flanker to the left. Now Rucker moves out as a slot left, and Greg Pruitt becomes a flanker to the right. Double wing. Sight back in the pocket. He sets. He looks. He's chased out of the pocket. He fires it up front to Newsom, 40, 45, and out of bounds on about the 46. Ad-lib play, and the great protection for Brian Sight from the offensive line. He had all day to run around back there and finally found Newsom. Rucker is coming out of the line. Nope, he's back in. He started to the sideline. He goes back into the huddle.
I was just going to say, it looks like the thrust of the Dallas defense on the pass rush is right up the middle. That time the Browns just sort of joined each other's arms in the middle, and they stopped it cold. Brian Sight had a lot of time.
Gain of 7, second and 3. Ball on the Cleveland 46. Logan split left, Rucker slot left. Newsom tight end right in. Pruitt again becomes a flanker to the right, leaving only Mike Pruitt behind Sight. Pitch to Mike Pruitt, turning right in. He is to the 48, is about a yard short of the first down. The Cowboys, with their usual excellent pursuit, and Bruning and Harris over there. On the touchdown pass, by the way, we said blitz. It was a blitz by one of the safeties. One of the defensive backs, I should say, not a safety. And now Weathers and Willis Adams, Curtis Weathers, Willis Adams have gone in the game for blocking. Rucker and Logan come out on third down and 1. It's actually a yard plus about 3 inches. The ends are tight, And Adams is a wingback left. They're in the team. Adams in motion to the right. Big handoff. Sipe is back. He looks. He's chased. He's running to the right. He throws the bomb. Here's Newsom. And he's got it for a touchdown. A touchdown. He beats the defensive back. Quick to Harris. And the Browns have got up by 12. 52 yards on the scrambling pass by Brian Sipe. And look at the crowd of Browns in the end zone with Ozzie Newsom. 61 yards in 3 plays. I don't know how Harris missed that ball. He just plain missed it. And the Wizard of Oz has scored the Browns' second touchdown. And Don Cockroft, whose first extra point went to the left, is on to try again. 9:32 remaining in the first quarter. Logan will hold for Don Cockroft. Waiting for the snap. Jerry Sullivan will snap it back. It is down. It's up. This one is good. There is an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 13, the Cowboys nothing.
Now that Black Beauty, well, excuse me, sir, that's the liquefier, top of the John Deere line. Yes.
Due to the extreme popularity of the new breed of John Deere snowmobiles, John Deere dealers will be extremely busy this winter.
Hello, may I help you?
Not too busy to help you pick the right John Deere snowmobile.
This silver one here's a Trail Fire. It's a real well-bound.
Too busy to do all the paperwork that goes with monthly billings. So come into any participating dealer before December 1st with a down payment on a new John Deere Liquefier, Sportfire, Trail Fire, or Spitfire, and he won't send you a monthly statement all winter. He won't have time to. Finance charges won't start till February 1st. Monthly payments won't start till March 1st.
Yeah, chrome shocks are standard on the Sportfire.
So if you come in before December 1st, you can get a full winter of pure snowmobiling for the price of one down payment. You can put monthly payments out of your mind till the snow melts.
Now, look under here. See, it's got...
And your John Deere dealer can put them out of his mind till his store clears out.
As I was saying...
Well, folks, we told you there were two explosive offenses on the field tonight. The Browns have certainly proved that correct in their case so far. Brian Sipe has a good half going with only 9:30 remaining in the first quarter. He's 5 of 7, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Browns get their last one, 61-yard drive, only 3 plays for a score. And Cockroft did add the point after 13-0. The Browns over the Cowboys. And again, it is Ron Springs and Steve Wilson back to receive the Cockroft kickoff. The Cowboys are playing catch-up ball early.
Not over yet. Short kick, Springs at the 17, 20, right sideline. Knocked down hard on the 29-yard line. Pat Moriarty was on it. So was Curtis Weathers. 12-yard return. Kick went short. And the Cowboys start on the 29. I will caution those of you who are getting a little excited at home possibly or in the stadium that we have a long way to go against an excellent football team.
Gib, for the keepers of trivia, that was Newsom's longest touchdown reception in his 2 years with the Browns.
Hill is switched to the right. Pearson is the flanker to the left. They're in the T formation. Staubach reaching under. Mix up. Now he pitches out to Dupree, trying to turn the end, and he's nailed for a loss. Back on the 27 by Jerry Shirk. The beginning of the play was aborted. It was supposed to be the end around to the tight end, but there was a big mix-up in the backfield, and the Browns were following everybody back there. They're going to mark the ball to the 28-yard line and a loss of 1 yard.
Well, I think you're absolutely right to point out that the Cowboys are a veteran ball club. They do not rattle easy. They will maintain their cool. But they've got a lot of points now to try and make up.
Pearson flank to the left. Dupree goes into the backfield. Make that Cosby the tight end. Full house backfield. Now Cosby in motion to the right. Stop back in the pocket. Sets. Throws over the middle. It is caught by Cosby, and he's down on the 35-yard line. He's still 4 yards short. Ambrose and Darden made the tackle. He is 4 yards short of a first down. And Lyle Alzado is hurt on the play. The gain is 7 yards. Alzado's getting up. He's got to come out for one play, or the Browns will be charged with a timeout. Jack Gregory goes into right end. I think you'll see Alzado back in the game shortly. We'll get a station break after the next play. One of the Cowboys got knocked into Alzado as another one was blocking him down around their legs. But he's limping very slightly. I don't think you'll keep him out. The Browns now go with 2 extra defensive backs to their prevent defense. They pull out 2 linebackers. Cowboys have the double wing and they have the shotgun. Staubach has 4 yards to go on 3rd down. Roger back to throw. He's set. Drills it over the middle. Intercepted by Garden on the 37. 30. He's to the 20. 15, 10. 5. Touchdown, Bob Garden. 38 yards. The Browns go up by 3 touchdowns. I think this game is quickly turning into a very exciting ball game if you are a Browns fan, to say the least. Tom Darden, All-Pro last year, led the league in interceptions. He picks that one off and returns it 38 yards. His first interception of the season. We have gone 7 minutes and 5 seconds into this first quarter, and the Browns have 3 touchdowns. Backdrop on to try the extra point again. Logan will hold. Waiting for the snap from Sullivan. The spot, the kick, it's up. It is good. The Browns have taken a 20-0 lead in the first quarter, and the fans are just starting to make noise. It's 39 yards officially on the return, and the fans in Cleveland are as stunned as the Dallas bench is right now. Garden got that one going full speed. 39 yards on the return. Tom Darden's first interception of the 1979 season turns into 6 points for the Cleveland Browns. 7:55 to go in the first quarter, and I'm sure the folks down in Dallas are wondering what the Cowboys have run into so far. They are down on the bench, in case you're wondering about Alzado. They are taping his left knee, and I would think just probably a slight sprain as he was blocked out on the play previous to the interception. He'll be back in there, I'm quite sure. Cockcroft now tees it up again, and again. It is Ron Springs on the far side, Steve Wilson on the near side, as the return men for the Dallas Cowboys, who find themselves 20 points down. Here's the kick by Cockcroft. High in the air. Ron Springs at the 9, to the 15, up the middle of the 20. Gets away 30, and he is finally knocked down on the 38-yard line. A good return by Ron Springs. He got that one going full speed. Randy Rich and Clinton Burrell were on the tackle, and the Dallas offense comes out on the field with a lot of work to do. We pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
If you're looking for something tasty for an after-game snack tonight, remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open till midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK, Cleveland.
On first down, hand off to Dorsett, turning left hand, and 3 of the Browns knocked him out of bounds on the 41-yard line. Jerry Shirt and Tom Darden and Mickey Sims had crossed all the way across the field to turn it into a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7. Yeah, that's the first interception that Roger Staubach has suffered this year, and it turns into a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. I'm sure he had no idea Darden was around there. He's looking at his receiver. Darden came from nowhere. Pearson is split to the right. Joe blank left. Dorsett to slot back to the left. Staubach to throw it. Sidelines, caught and out of bounds with it at the 45-yard line. It's Tony Hill. He was hit immediately by Oliver Davis, and Oliver is very lucky he didn't get a roughing penalty because Hill had stepped out of bounds, then he got hit. It's a gain of 4. It'll be third down and a shade over 3 yards to go. I think the only thing that saved Davis that time was that he did wrap up the receiver and try to hold him up to give the impression that momentum carried him into him. He wasn't trying to tackle him. And calling for the defense. Hill will split 4 to the left. Pearson flank to the right. They shift into the T. throw it. Sets, drills it. It is caught at the 50-yard line. I believe it's Laidlaw. It is the fullback, and he's down at the Browns' 48-yard line. And the tackle by Bolton, it is a first down, a gain of 7.
That's the first down for the Cowboys tonight, and the first time they have been in Browns territory.
Cosby's in at tight end, replacing Dupree, and the tight ends at the moment are bringing in plays. There will be a slot to the right. Pearson will split to the right. Cosby out a yard at left end. And they're in the tee. Pearson in motion to the left. Staubach rolling to the right to throw it. Pumps. There goes the bomb, and a man open. Got it. 10-5. Touchdown Hill. 48 yards. That's what I meant by the Dallas Cowboys being able to come back.
62 yards in 4 plays, and the man who got beat was Bolton, and Hill was just wide open. Roger Staubach, I think, made that play happen because he looked to his left and faked a pump and then went back to Hill on the right side, and I think that Bolton was lured into relaxing by that pump, and Hill had him beat by about 5 strides.
It's also possible that someone else behind Bolton missed an assignment. White will hold. Septien will attempt the point with 6:35 remaining in the first quarter. 4th touchdown of the period. This kick is up, and it is good. There is an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 20, the Cowboys 7.
Not enough rest, not eating the right foods can get anybody pushed out of shape. Keeping physically fit can benefit you in more ways than one, especially with today's rising healthcare costs. Ask your doctor about a diet and exercise program now, because keeping healthy keeps healthcare costs down for everybody. Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Northeast Ohio, more than just an insurance company.
The Browns will get a second kickoff from Septien. They have scored both times they've had the football so far, plus they have scored an interception by Tom Darden. So the Browns, every time they have touched the football, have put some points on the boards tonight. And of course, as Gib pointed out, the veteran Dallas offense came back, and they scored on a quick drive, and here comes the kickoff.
Septien boots it to Keith right at the 3, to the 5. Right sideline, 15-20. Through a big pile and gets knocked down at the 27-yard line. There must have been 8 players all piled up on the 22-yard line. He couldn't get over everybody. Tackle made by Guy Brown, a linebacker, and Thomas Henderson, another linebacker. A 24-yard return. Let's see, the ball is 23 yards. It's touching the 27-yard line. Browns first and 10. We still have 6:24 remaining in the first quarter, and it is 20-7. Rucker flanked to the right. Newsom tight at right end. Logan split 7 to the left. The Browns shift into the tee. Rucker in motion to the left. Hand off. Greg Pruitt up the middle. Chopped down at the 30-yard line. Not much in the middle. Hit by Danny White, the great defensive right tackle for the Cowboys. As I recall, he started as a linebacker. He was such a good athlete, they didn't know where to put him. Sullivan is coming in at center now, replacing Bob Jackson at guard. Sullivan can play guard, center, or tackle, and Jerry's now playing right guard. Jackson's walking around down below. Maybe equipment problem. Out of the eye, pitch to Greg Pruitt, left end, hit at the 30, and down. So that was almost a face mask grab by D.D. Lewis, who hit him first. And then some more blue shirts came. Harvey Martin was there to assist.
I think D.D. Lewis that time kept Greg from a long gainer. He was ready to cut back across the defensive flow, and Lewis slowed him up enough that he couldn't quite get away before help arrived.
Third down, 7. Cleo Miller's in at fullback. Replacing Mike Pruitt. Rucker flank right, Logan out 4 to the left. Newsom out a yard at right end, but in the tee. Sight back in the pocket. Throws it. Incomplete. Intended for Cleo Miller at about the 36-yard line. Threw it wide. Henderson was out covering on the play. The Browns will have to punt for the first time in the ball game. Browns have had 2 punts blocked this year. Hold your breath. Dallas watches movies like everybody else does. Tony Hill is back in single safety at the Dallas 30. Johnny Evans on to do the kicking. He has punted very well this season. We have 5:07 remaining in the first quarter. The Browns lead by 13. Good snap. Not a very good kick off the side of his foot. Gets on the 49, takes a Browns bounce and goes out of bounds on the Dallas 37-yard line, and he's lucky he got the bounce out of it. He shanked it off the right side for 33 yards, no return, and the Dallas offense moves out on the field. You can't keep Dallas quiet offensively forever. And the nose of the ball is closer to the 38-yard line. That's where we'll start play. Alzado is back at right end now for the Browns with a left knee tape. Coming out late for Dallas is Cosby, the tight end. What the play is. Tony Hill has gone off the field. They have 2 tight ends in there. And Pearson flanked to the right. And they're in the eye. Pitch to Dorsett. Left tackle, 40. Dives for about 3 more to close to the 43-yard line. It's just about a 5-yard pickup.
Dick Ambrose came up and hit him in the backfield but couldn't hold on.
That's almost 5. Jay Saldy and Billy Joe Dupree are 2 tight ends on the lineup now. Cosby's gone out. Pearson, the only wide receiver. Flanker to the left. Pitch to goes Laidlaw, right tackle. He is hit at the 45, and he dives for an extra yard. Ambrose hit him, but Ambrose was carried back about a yard. So it's going to be marked right on the 46-yard line. It's third down, about a yard and a half to go. Now Cosby's back in at tight end, and Saldy has gone out.
Himmler in to replace Shirt.
Flanker to the right is Pearson. They're in the tee. Hands are in tight. Laidlaw, right tackle, got a hold, and he's at the 50-yard line, and Charlie Hall knocks him down, but he gets about 4 yards in the first down. Scott helped on the play. So Dallas at midfield, trying to move the football at the moment on the ground, except now they've taken out Cosby, and Tony Hill, the wide receiver, is back in. 3:09 to play in the first quarter. Pearson flanked left, and Hill split right. Dupree tight at left end. Staubach to throw. Fires. It is caught at the 45 of the Browns and down to the 40-yard line, and it is Pearson, but that's Tony Dorsett. And it's about a 9-yard pickup. He's just shy of the 40-yard line. Ambrose and Matthews made the tackle. Here's Dimmler coming back in at right tackle on short yardage. Staubach has been known to throw on second and short yardage. Cosby is the tight end now. On the left side, Pearson flank left and Hill split right. Out of the eye. Handoff. Dorsett trying to turn the end, breaks a tackle. 40 at the 35-yard line. He got away from Mike St. Clair. He gets down to about the 35-yard line, where he's hit by Matthews and by Davis and Dimmler.
Lyle Alzado had him in the backfield, but he could not make a hand tackle on Dorsett.
Nose of the ball at the the 35-yard line, and now the Cowboys are relentlessly moving the football with a minute 51 to play in the period. Double wing. Now Dorsett goes back as a setback. Hill split left, and Pearson flank right. Laidlaw outside right in, down at the 31-yard line, and a gain of 4 more. Charlie Hall made the tackle. Well, Dallas is now doing some things that they expected to do. They're starting to move against the Browns' defense. Not in a hurry now.
Well, it took them a while to get on track, and I think one of the marks of a veteran ball club is that they can be patient, even though they wound up trailing 20-0 before they even knew what hit them. But they came back and got 1 touchdown, and now they're on the march again, and they're being very patient about it. That's what you have to do.
Hill split right, Pearson flank left. Hand off, outside right in, Dorsett to the 30 to the 25, and Garden knocks him out of bounds on about the 19-yard line. Boy, they turned that corner with nobody home, and it's a gain of 12 yards. I don't know if that's the left end, or the left linebacker, or the left cornerback's responsibility, but nobody was there, and the ball is marked at the 19-yard line. First down and 10.
They simply blocked down on the left side of the Browns' defensive wall and shut off pursuit. Dick Ambrose in the middle linebacker spot came across on a slant and tried to grab Dorsett, but that's rather hard to do.
Now we have the tight end alignment for the Cowboys with Pearson flank right. They're in the tee. Back to throw it. Staubach is hit by St. Clair, and he threw it away. Should be a flag. He's avoiding the loss, and they're not going to call it. He was avoiding the loss on the play, and he threw it away, and they're not going to call it.
Well, I think they'll say that Jay Salty was in the vicinity over there, the tight end, but I'll tell you one thing, Staubach got away with murder that time.
Been tough to catch him with his back turned.
Sure would be.
Second down and 10. Good pursuit that time by Mike St. Clair. Ball on the Browns 19. The Cowboys are coming back. Pearson will flank right. Dupree tight his right end. Now Dupree's a slot back. Hill split left. Now Dupree's up on the line. They're in the tee. Hand off Laidlaw off the middle. He was fumbled the ball with the 16. The Browns, I think, have the ball. The Browns get the football on about the 17-yard line. Ridley Market. That's going to be the 15-yard line. And Clay Matthews has the football. There is the first break of the football game as Dallas was marching.
Well, we said mistakes might decide it, whoever made the most of them. And they made one when Roger Staubach threw the interception that Darden returned for a touchdown. And now Laidlaw coughs up the football to stop a Dallas drive. And the Browns are back in business at their own 15-yard line.
I don't think that was a perfect handoff to Laidlaw. I don't think he really got possession of it. 48 seconds left in the quarter. Logan split 10 to the left. Rucker flank to the right. They're in the tee. Newsom tight at right end. Rucker starts in motion to the left. Back to throw it sight to the sidelines. Rucker's got it. Out of bounds from the 25. If Rucker had had another yard to turn upfield, he would have had some room to run. He gets almost enough for the first down. D.D. Lewis was covering, but not very well.
Well, it's not often you're going to find a linebacker, no matter how good they are, and D.D. Lewis is a good one, that can cover a wide receiver one-on-one.
44 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's a first down at the 25-yard line. Newsom will line up tight at right end. Rucker flank to the right, and Logan splits 4 to the left. They shift into the tee. Sight fakes a handoff. Back to throw it. It is caught by Logan. 35-40, and he's down at the 44-yard line. Henderson on the tackle, and a perfect throw.
A great block that time by George Beeler made it work. George Beeler kept the pass rush off of Brian's sight, enabling him to go to Logan for a 19-yard pickup.
Ball on the 44-yard line at the Browns. They started on the 15 after the fumble recovery. 2 seconds left in the quarter, and now we're at the end of the period. End of the first quarter in Cleveland. The score is Cleveland 20, Dallas 7.
physical health. And our Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans offer you dental health care coverage to groups of 25 or more. Coverage to help you correct dental problems early, and that keeps health care costs down for all of us. For details, have your group official contact your Blue Cross and Blue Shield marketing office now. Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Northeast Ohio. More than just an insurance company.
Well, in the first quarter, Dallas ran 19 offensive plays to only 16 for the Browns, but the Browns struck like lightning. And, of course, an interception return by Tom Darden is part of the score that he reads Cleveland 20, the Cowboys 7, as we get ready to go in the second quarter with the Browns first and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Brian Sipe, what a first quarter he's had. 7 of 10 for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. And here comes Cleveland.
Rucker, flank to the right. Newsom, tight end right in. Logan out, 5 to the left. They shift into the team. The Pruitts are the running backs. Sipe gives to Mike Pruitt, left tackle. Goes through D.D. Lewis and gets up to about the 48-yard line. Right through his tackle, he got an assist on it, and as well did Randy White. A gain of about 4 yards for Mike Pruitt to the 48-yard line. The running game for either team is really not too much right now. Laidlaw 23 yards, Dorsett 22. The Pruitts, Mike has 6, Greg has 5 yards. Those things can change in a hurry. Rucker flank left, Logan splits 7 to the right, out of the eye, give to Greg Pruitt, a right tackle at the 50, chopped down close to the 48-yard line of Dallas. Gain of about 4 more. Mike got 4, Greg gets 4. Cole and Bruning on the tackle. Of course, if you can get 4 yards every carry, you can annihilate a defense. Here's Calvin Hill coming in the ball game, probably at fullback. No, he's going in at halfback for Greg Pruitt.
Third down conversion so far, Gib. The Browns are 3 of 5. The Cowboys 2 of 4. Let's see how the Browns do on this conversion.
Newsom tight end right end. Rucker slot left. Logan split left, and they're in the team. Rucker in motion to the right. Hand off. Mike Pruitt, left end. 45, 44, first down. Chopped down by D.D. Lewis and Bob Bruning, the middle linebacker. A gain of 4 more. That's what I mean. 4, 4, 4 is 12.
First time, really, that the Browns have tried to go outside on the Cowboys tonight. They've been running both Mike and Greg Pruitt up the middle and off tackle so far. That time, they gave it to Mike going wide against the right side of that Dallas defense, Harvey Martin in particular. Greg Pruitt's back at halfback. Newsom tight at left end, Rucker slot right, Logan splits 7 to the right, and they're in the team. Sipe straight back to throw. Trouble on a blitz. Just got it away and out of bounds. Oh, he got nailed on a blitz by Thomas Henderson. And he is slow getting up, but he is getting up.
Good thing Brian got enough mustard on the ball to throw it out of bounds.
I tell you, it's amazing that time that he did just exactly that. He was able to throw the ball out. Had he had a second longer, or was not hit just as he released the football, he had Ozzie Newsome open. But with Lewis crashing, or rather Henderson crashing down on him like that, he was lucky just to get the football away.
Cleo Miller's in at fullback, 2nd and 10. Logan split left, Rucker slot left. Newsom tight at right end, the shift into the team. Sipe. There's the draw. Cleo Miller, left tackle to the 40. Inside the 40, I believe. Bruning and Lewis. Again, the linebackers on the tackle. Gain of 4 yards for sure. Italy put the ball down. Now make it 4. Ball's tail of it's touching the 40. Third down, 6. Rucker will flank to the right. Newsom out a yard at right end. Logan splits 5 to the left. The Browns are in the team. Third down, 6. Sipe back in the pocket. Sets. Throws overthrown, intended for Newsom at the 25-yard line. Had a pretty good rush on that time, and the tackles made by the coverage by Hughes. Randy White was coming in on Brian's sight. Fourth down, the Browns are going to punt it. There's the kick. High. It's on around the 6, pounds into the end zone for the touchback.
Well, with 12:10 to go in the first half, the Cowboys get the football back at the 20-yard line, their own. They trail in the ball game 20-7. The last time they had the football, Laidlaw fumbled, Matthews recovered. Let's see what happens this time. Staubach brings him out.
And they're in the double wing, and now Thorstad, the wingman, is back into the seat. Left tackle is Laidlaw, right guard, is smothered on the 21-yard line. Mueller is on the tackle with Ambrose and St. Clair. Get a station break after the next play. Second down and 9. Well, they put the ball. Only getting 3 yards on it. They did. It's up to the 22. He must have extended the arm full length to get that one. They just tried to cross-buck the runner back that time, and Himmler held his ground. Dallas looked a little sloppy in some of their plays tonight. That's not like them. Hill and Pearson both to the left on the slot back. The slot back is in motion to the right. Handoff, Dorsett, right end, 25, 30 to the 33-yard line. Ron Bolton made the tackle, 11-yard gain, first down. We pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network. First and 10 on the Dallas 33-yard line. Ends are in tight. They shift into the eye. Pearson flank to the right. Pitch to Dorsett, left tackle. He is hit at the 37 and a flag goes down. Might have a face mask. Matthews on the tackle with Shirk and with Davis.
Well, they're talking to Clay Matthews, too. And he was the follow-up tackler in the gang tackling that time. Let's see if they get a piling on.
This will be the first penalty of this ball game.
The 4-yard gain.
It's only 5 yards, so it's probably face mask. To the 42-yard line, it's a first down. Let's see what he says.
Face mask, 57. Defense, first down.
Well, it was against Clay Matthews. It was not piling on. It was a face mask. So first down for Dallas at their own 42.
Hill flank left, Pearson split right. They're in the eye. Now they go to the full house backfield. Dupree is one of the backs, the tight end. He's now in motion to the right. Staubach to throw. He whips it. It is caught by Dupree, and he's down on about the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. It will be the 48-yard line, a gain of 6. Ambrose and Scott made the tackle. They gave him an extra yard. He wasn't up that far. In the tight end is Cosby. Second down and 4. 10-13 play of the half. The Browns lead 20-7. We've had no scoring yet in the second quarter. Ends are tight. Pearson flank left. Now they're in the eye. Gib to Laidlaw, right guard. Hits the 50. And just inside the 50-yard line, Jerry Shirk made the tackle. They're going to give him the 49-yard line. It'll be third, a little over a yard to go. Saldy at tight end. Cosby's at tight end. They're taking Pearson out. They have all 3 tight ends on the field. Saldy's a wing right. The ends are in tight. Mickey Sims is back in the game, and is Himmler. Shirk comes out. Third and 1. Dorsett up and over for the first down. Over the pile to the 46-yard line. Garden and Davis made the hit. A gain of 3. Dallas is moving with the football. They started at the 20 after the punt was on the touchback. They're down to the Cleveland 46. Himmler back in at left tackle, and Sims comes out. Shirk is at right tackle. Alzado and St. Clair are the ends. Pearson is flanked to the left. They have an eye formation. Hill now, the slot back left. Dupree tight at right end. Now they shift into the eye. They hand off. Staubach throws the bomb. Caught. Out of bounds goes Pearson at the 2-yard line. Beat Oliver Davis on the play. 44 yards.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. He got to the outside and a step behind Oliver Davis on the coverage. And he, more or less, it was one-on-one after he got out of the pattern and Davis took him on the coverage. And he had him beat all the way.
Ball is on the 2. First down and goal, and the Cowboys are going to be back in this ball game in a minute. It was nice to have had the 20-0 lead. The worst thing it did was wake up the Cowboys. We still have 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Laidlaw and Dorsett, the running backs, in the eye. Now they shift to the T. Ends are tight. Wing back right. Staubach gives to Dorsett. Hit in the backfield. Fumble the ball. Browns have the football at the 20 to the 22. Dick Ambrose gets the football. I don't believe it.
That is the second time in a row that the Cowboys have been driving, and the hard-hitting defense of the Browns has taken the ball away.
Dorsett fumbled the ball on the 2, and Ambrose picked it up and got it out to the 22-yard line. The second break that has stopped a second potential touchdown for Dallas. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 20, the Cowboys 7.
Cowboys have had trouble this year holding on to the football. They have now fumbled, including the 2 here tonight, 8 times. They've lost the ball 7 times. And Dorsett fumbled 3 times last week. And he just coughed up the football here again as Ambrose picked it up in midair. While the Cowboys were at the 2-yard line driving in. Of course, on their possession before that, it was Laidlaw who coughed the ball up, and Clay Matthews recovered. And that was also while the Cowboys were driving. So mistakes have hurt the Dallas Cowboys in this ball game so far, without any doubt. They have turned the ball over 3 times.
Robert L. Jackson is the man who made the hit that caused the fumble. Browns are in the T with Rucker slot left, and Logan split 7 to the left. Newsom tight his right end. Rucker starts in motion to the right. Big handoff. Sight bootlegs it back. Throws caught and knocked out of the hands of Mike Pruitt. A good hit by Bruning, the middle linebacker, just jarred it right out of there. At the moment, the gross yardage in this ball game, believe it or not, Dallas 194 yards, Cleveland 172. The two teams total 366 yards. We're not halfway through the second quarter yet.
I know, it's amazing. We said that earlier, Brian Sipe had himself a good half already, just in the first quarter alone.
Staubach isn't bad. He's up to 126 yards and 7 out of 10. But they've had 2 fumbles and an interception. Cleo Miller's in his fullback. Brian Sipe's trying to direct them what to do with 6 seconds left on the huddle clock. Gives to Greg Pruitt, right guard, and he's hit at about the 24-yard line by Randy White, a gain of only 2. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8. And the Browns, for the first time this season, were confused on what the formation was supposed to be. And Dallas has been a little bit sloppy in their own backfield running a couple of plays tonight. I would assume that by now the jitters should be over for both teams. Rucker flanked to the right. Newsom out a yard at right. And Logan splits 4 to the left. Out of the tee. Sight to throw. He throws it to Logan. He can't quite get it. Tried to one-hand it out of bounds on the 41-yard line. Thrown a shade high for him. And Kyle was covering. Doug Deacon did a great job that time of keeping Harvey Martin away from Brian Sipe, as he's done apparently so far in this first half. Johnny Evans will punt to Tony Hill, who's back at the 35. 7:39 remaining in the first half. Well, Hill's up to the 40. Evans standing back on his own 9. Snap, a little high. Got it away. End over end. Hill on his 42. He's to the 45. He's to the Browns' 47-yard line, and Jerry Sullivan meets him head on, and Willis Adams then hit him. 34-yard punt, 11-yard return. There's an official timeout on the field with the score. The Browns 20 and the Cowboys 7.
Okay, guys, hold it. Let's do it again, and this time let's do it right. 1, 2, 1. All right, yeah, that's the way to do it. We worked half the mile just to get it right. Now it's all behind. Got to living on my mind. I've got half to living on my mind. More and more lately outside. I've got a face for living. I'm looking for the ribbon. I've got half to living on my mind.
There are a lot of beers, but there's only one, Pabst. It's brewed to be the best, naturally, with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it.
I've got half to living on my mind.
Well, Johnny Evans is having some problems tonight with the punting, but that time the 34-yarder was probably the result of a high snap. He had to jump up to field the ball coming back from the center, and obviously lost some timing in his kicking, and the Cowboys will take over now in Browns territory at the Cleveland 47.
Hill split to the left by 5 yards. Jack Gregory's at the left end now for the Browns. Pearson flank to the right. They're in the tee. Dupree tied his right end. Give on a dive to Dorsett. Gets the 45-yard line, and he's backed up after 2 yards. Charlie Hall and Clay Matthews, the outside linebackers, led the charge. And off the bottom of the pile is Rich Dimmler. And now Tony Hill's going out. They have run quite a few plays tonight with 2 tight ends in. Pearson will be the flanker to the left. And again, they have 2 tight ends in there. One is a slot back on the left side, Saldi. They're in the tee. Pitch to Laidlaw, right end, hit and dump. At about the 43-yard line. Mickey Sims had a hand on him, couldn't hang on, but the help arrived quickly again from the linebackers, Hall and Matthews. A gain of 2 more. And now the wide receivers are coming back in the ball game. So is Preston Pearson at a halfback, and Ron Springs another halfback. These are good pass receivers. The Browns go to their pass defense to prevent defense. Add 2 defensive backs.
And Jerry Shirk is back in replacing Dimmler in the rushing situation.
3rd and 6. With a double wing, shotgun, Staubach gets the snap, back to throw it. He fires, caught by Hill at the 25, and he's down at the 25-yard line. Ron Fulton on the hit, an 18-yard pickup and a first down. They just couldn't keep him covered forever, and Staubach sat back there. And here come the Cowboys again.
One advantage that shotgun gives you, the quarterback is already back, and he has a little more time, even against a good rush, to get the football off.
Somebody had cleared the middle teeth, and Darden had to go back with him. He was not free to go after the ball. Now they have their tight end offense again in, with Pearson flank to the left, and they shift into the eye. Pitch to Dorsett, right tackle. Down on the 23-yard line. Tackled by Clay Matthews. And by middle linebacker Dick Ambrose. The gain is 2. It started on the 47-yard line after the punt return. 4:55 to play in the half. The Cowboys have had 2 threats. They've scored once. They've had 2 threats, both killed by fumbles. They're in the I formation with Pearson flank to the right. The ends are tight now. They shift into the tee. 2nd and 8. Staubach takes the handoff. Bootlegs right. Chase. Throws. It is caught. And it's Dupree. He fumbles. What are they going to call it? Well, it's down before the fumble on about the 18-yard line. One official didn't call anything. The other one said he was down and then fumbled. Charlie Hall made the hit, a gain of 5 yards. that may have been a quick whistle.
I'll tell you one thing, Jack Gregory was coming in on Roger Staubach that time, and Roger did a good job of side-arming that pass out to Dupree.
I think on the replay it showed he fumbled. Anyway, it's 3rd and 3. Hill is back in, slot left. Pearson is split left. Dupree tied it right in. They're in the T. 3rd and 3. Take hand off, roll to the right. Staubach throws it. It's caught down at the 17-yard line, and a hit by Charlie Hall. He's short of the first down. Hall saved the first down. He really nailed Laidlaw.
He only needed 3 yards that time, and he only got a single yard because of excellent coverage by Charlie Hall on the outside. His responsibility that time in the defensive scheme was to keep the back coming out. It was Laidlaw, and Charlie nailed him just as the ball got there.
Dallas was going for the field goal. It's a smart move. We still have 3:44 to play in the first half. And it's 20-7. If he hits it, they're only down by 10. That's half of what they were, because it was 20-0 midway through the first quarter. Danny White will hold. It'll be a 35-yard attempt by Raphael Septien, easily in his distance. Snap, spot, it's blocked at the line. I think Mickey Sims, maybe. It's picked up by Oliver Davis at the 16 to the 20 to the 25, and he's out of bounds. And it was Curtis Weathers who blocked the ball right over the middle, and the tackle is made by Lawless, the left guard, and another break for the Browns.
Well, sometimes you make your break, and Septien is known as a low kicker. He comes in there at that side angle, and he gets the kicks off low, and that time Weathers got a hand up there and blocked it, and the Browns defense again rises to the occasion.
He's also used to kicking most of the time on artificial turf. Well, the nose of the ball is the 29-yard line. Rucker slot left, Logan split 10 to the left. Hand off, Greg Pruitt, right tackle, outside the end. He is to the 32-yard line, and the gain is about 3. Good pursuit by the Cowboys. Bruning and Harris on the tackle. About the time you think somebody's going to break away with the ball, the defense arrives in a hurry. They spot the ball at the 33-yard line. Being a 4. Greg Pruitt is struggling. 6 carries, 15 yards.
All he needs is one seam in that flex defense, and he'll rattle off a big one. But, of course, Dorsett can do exactly the same thing on the other side.
Calvin Hill at halfback, replacing Pruitt. Rucker flank left, Logan split 5 to the right, Newsom tight at left end. Hit to Calvin Hill. Right guard stumbles and dives to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3 more. It'll be 3rd and 3. Harvey Martin on the tackle with Cliff Harris.
I think Hill likes playing against his old team, the one that he started out with, of course. They traded him to the Washington Redskins. He retired. Browns brought him back. That's right, he went to the World Football League. And when that folded, then he went to the Redskins. Of course, he retired there and then came back to the Browns last year.
Pruitt's having his right leg checked. Hill still in. Sight to throw. 3rd down. Blitz on. He throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Almost intercepted on the 35 of Dallas by Harris. It took a great effort by Ozzie Newsom fighting him for the ball to knock it away to prevent it. It was not Harris, it was Hughes. Newsom should get an assist for preventing it. The blitz came that time from D.D. Lewis, the right linebacker.
Well, that's the time you say that a receiver very quickly becomes a defensive back.
Pruitt's getting attention to his right thigh, apparently, and Brian Sipe is 0 for 5 in his last 5 passes. Logan Evans to punt. And in single safety is Tony Hill, back at his 30. Good snap. Kicks away. End over end. Hill back on his 25. Hit at the 25, gets away, and is up to the 30-yard line, and then he is chopped down on about the 29-yard line. He gave up some ground. 39-yard punt, 4-yard return. The hit was made by Clinton Burrell and by Willis Adams, a couple of rookies. There's an official timeout on the field as we're down to the 2-minute warning. The score, the Browns 20, the Cowboys 7. Hello, I'm Wally Schirra. One of the first things you'll learn as an astronaut is to have trust and respect for the people who back you up. The same is true when you're buying or selling a home.
That's why Realty World has been so successful. Realty World brokers and associates have earned the trust and respect of their clients through the professional service they provide. Realty World people undergo intensive training to provide you with the service and results you deserve. So whatever your real estate needs, turn to your independent Realty World broker, the most respected sign in real estate.
Hi, this is Mike Pruitt of the Cleveland Browns in Realty World. For information about the Realty World office nearest you, dial 826-1250. That's 826-1250.
Well, we've got a minute 58 remaining in the first half. The Cowboys have the ball, first and 10 at their own 29-yard line. They trail the ball game 20-7. They should have a lot more points on the board, but they have turned the ball over. Preston Pearson is in there, one of the running backs. They're in the shotgun, double wing. Three receivers to the right, two to the left. Back in the pocket. He throws, incomplete, almost interference on Charlie Hall, intended for Preston Pearson. I'll tell you what, they're not calling much of anything in this game tonight. That's one on each team that could have been called very easily. They're giving Charlie Hall a lot of credit that time for some excellent timing in hitting the receiver. He was laying on his back. I want to remind you, of course, that the Browns will take on another Texas team next Sunday when they open up their Central Division schedule. They'll play the Houston Oilers in the Astrodome. You saw the statistics on the first half. You'd swear Dallas is way ahead instead of way behind. Again, out of the shotgun. Staubach, back in the pocket. He throws, incomplete, off the hands of Preston Pearson, the 35-yard line. Jack Gregory stopped his charge on Staubach just as he released the ball very wisely. He had been hit for 15, but he was right up in Staubach's face. Third down and 10 with a minute 47 left in the half. Pearson just trying to get out in the flat that time. Clay Matthews had good coverage on him. Had he held on to the football, Matthews would have stopped him short of the first down. Browns on the second down was put in there prevent defense. Matthews normally on the right side goes to the left. Ricky Jones, who is built like either a linebacker or defensive back, goes on the right side. Third and 10, again out of the shotgun at the Dallas 29-yard line. Back to throw it. Staubach. He's hit. He's out of the pocket. He's hit from behind and down by Jerry Shirk. Back on the 21-yard line. A loss of 8 yards. Shirk was all over his back, and the Cowboys have to punt. Jerry Shirk came after him, but so did Mike St. Clair and Jack Gregory. They stopped up the middle, and Staubach tried to get away from Jerry Shirk's rush, step up into the middle, but Gregory and St. Clair had it jammed up there. Roger had no place to dodge him. That's the first sack of the ball game. Danny White to punt. The Browns still have their 3 timeouts. Clock is running down to a minute and a half. Huddle clock down to 15 seconds. Keith Wright back on his own 41-yard line. It'll take as much time to get this ball snapped. Huddle clock's down to 6 seconds. Down to 4. Down to 2. Down to 1. And they didn't get it off. Now he's going to be back near the goal line when he punched the football. 5-yard penalty. That may help the Browns a little bit. If nothing else, it gets them 5 yards closer to the Dallas goal line. Well, it looked like they had some confusion down there. The man on the outside responsible for keeping that outside rush of the Browns, number 31, Benny Barnes, lined up too far to the outside. They tried to bring him back in, and that caused the delay. And now White is going to be back inside the 5-yard line.
Delay offense, fourth down.
He said third down? Fourth. Right. Certainly is. 1:12 now. The clock is stopped. Browns should get about a minute with some good field position out of this. See if the Browns put on a rush. I would think not. No, they don't. Here's a kick. Good punt. Back after Keith Wright on his own 40-yard line. He's to the 45. He's hit and he's stopped on about the
Oh, the 48-yard line on the slower progress. Hutler's the man who hit him first. I thought he stepped out of bounds in the 47, but the official's right there, and he didn't say a thing.
44 yards on the kick.
59 seconds remaining. The Browns have 3 timeouts remaining. Henderson is a little upset with Robert L. Jackson. Both of them wear number 56. If Henderson wants to tangle with somebody, I suggest he choose somebody other than Robert L. Jackson. He's the man who hit Dorsett and knocked the ball 10 yards up in the air. Here come the Browns. Rucker flanked to the right. Newsom out a yard to the right end. Logan splits 7 to the left. They're in the team. Calvin Hill, the halfback. Back to throw it. Sight. Throws to Newsom. Intercepted down on the 39-yard line. Up to the 40. Up to the 45. It is Barnes, and a flag goes down as he's hit at the 50. Harvey Martin might have done something. I'm not positive about that. He was closest to where the flag was dropped.
Well, Reggie Rucker was riding his back, trying to pull him down. He may have grabbed his face mask.
Personal foul. Alice. I think it was Harvey Martin. Well, that'll take him back a few yards. It helped a little bit. 46 seconds remaining in the half, but the Cowboys get the ball back.
Well, that's Brian Sipes' first interception of this ball game. He has not been able to connect on passes since the first quarter.
The tackle was made at the 49-yard line, so the 15 yards will take the ball back to the Dallas 34-yard line. They still have 46 seconds and 3 timeouts left. Let's find out what the call is.
Personal foul after the interception, 65. Dallas first down.
Against Dave Stalls, the defensive tackle. Ball is on the 34-yard line. And believe it or not, a team can go a long way in 46 seconds with 3 timeouts. So the defense is called on to do it again. Brown's offense has really stopped since the first quarter. Brown's in there to prevent defense. And the Cowboys in the shotgun offense. Back to throw it. Right flat. Pearson. Screen to the 30. 35. Tripped, and he is down on about the 45-yard line. Hit by Ricky Jones and by Ron Bolton.
That shotgun snap back to Staubach almost went over his head.
Timeout Dallas. 35 seconds left, and the ball is on the Dallas 45-yard line. A first down, a gain of 11. The Browns went right through Dallas. That sounds like a Civil War story, doesn't it? In the first quarter. Sight to Logan for 23, Sight to Newsom for 52, and Darden's interception for 39 made it 20-0. Then Dallas came back the next time they had the ball with a long strike of Staubach to Hill for 48. They got down to the 15 and a fumble. They got down to the 2 and a fumble. And Staubach threw an interception.
All right, one thing to point out is that Brian Sipe was 7 of 12 or 7 of 10 in the first quarter for 148 yards. He's 0 for 6 in the second quarter, and he has thrown 1 interception.
Well, Staubach's having a pretty fair evening, 11 out of 16.
He has 161 yards, but he has not been into the end zone yet, and of course he threw the 1 interception that Darden, as you mentioned, took back 39 yards for a touchdown.
Dallas also missed the field goal. Cleveland missed an extra point.
Dallas missed their field goal by way of Weathers blocking it.
It's not been an artistic game, but it's sure been exciting. Both ends are split. Dupree, they go to the double wing and the shotgun now. Staubach, 4 yards behind the center. Snap, back to throw. Hit, Gregory, he got away. Now he throws, overthrown and into the Browns bench. A good play by Staubach. He got away that time. From Jack Gregory, went up over the top. Jack is really upset with himself, and then Staubach threw it toward Hill, but into the Browns bench. 28 seconds to play.
He made a good move that time, just ducked under Gregory's rush. Looked like Jack had him wrapped up, but Roger just ducked his head and was able to pull free.
He couldn't run anywhere because as soon as he straightened up, he saw somebody, I think it was Mickey Sims, right in front of him. That would make me throw it away in a hurry. Pearson will flank left. Hill split right. Now they shift into the shotgun. Second down. Staubach to throw. He hooks it. It is caught. Good catch.
by Pearson at the 35, and he's down at the Browns' 30-yard line with 19 seconds to play. Burrell made the tackle. Timeout, Dallas, their second. And Burrell is getting up very slowly. He's up on his hands and knees at the moment. 25-yard pickup. Good catch by Drew Pearson. That was an excellent throw also by Roger Staubach, who has had most of his success tonight against the middle of the Browns defense. But what he's doing, they're sending in one pattern that takes Tom Darden out of the center, and then they cross over a man, and the cornerback or the strong safety has to then pick him up one-on-one, and he's a couple of steps behind going into that zone, and that's where they've been hitting the passes. And Staubach has been hitting long gainers every time he's gone to that 20 or 25-yard range in the middle of the Browns defense. Jim, we just found out Greg Pruitt has a knee injury. We will find out sometime during intermission before the third quarter starts the extent of it. Burrell has also come out of the ball game. He's a little shaken up, and Randy Rich has gone in the defensive backfield. Well, I don't see Greg Pruitt down on the sidelines. They've obviously... No, there he is. He's standing down on the sideline. So it's not anything that they had to take him into the locker room to take a look at right away. Well, I don't think Calvin Hill would mind playing quite a bit in this game. No, I don't. And it might be interesting to see if Pat Moriarty saw some action. Although a rookie in a ball game like this is somewhat of a question mark, but he did look good in the preseason. His work so far since the kickoff of the championship season, as we call it, has been limited to special teams. 19 seconds left, one timeout left. Dallas in the shotgun at the Cleveland 30. First and 10. Staubach, the snap, goes back to throw. He throws it deep. Incomplete at the 2-yard line. Intended for Hill. He went up for the ball, and he couldn't hang on to it. And luckily, Davis and Rich were there, but Hill almost caught the ball. I don't know if he could have gotten down inside the sidelines or not had he held onto that football. 13 seconds left. Well, Mike St. Clair, I've been watching him. He has got a real battle going on down there. On the replay that Hill would have been out had he caught the football. Well, he was pushed out. Second down, 13 seconds left. Not over yet. They're in the shotgun. Snap to Staubach. Back to throw. St. Clair hits him. He's up out of the pocket. He throws the ball, and it's down, deflected by Clay Matthews. He got hit first by St. Clair. He got away from him. He got away from Mickey Sims. He whipped the ball, and Matthews went high in the air and slapped it straight down to the ground. St. Clair has been having some real problems on the outside rush, getting away from the man who's assigned to blocking Jim Cooper over there. And I think before this game is over, Cooper is going to get called for holding. 6 seconds left to field goal units on for Dallas. Oh, Mike St. Clair just barely ran past Staubach that time with his momentum carried him past him. If he'd have hit Staubach head on, it'd have been good night. White will kneel. It'll be a 47-yard attempt. Don't forget, White is the quarterback, the holder. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is no good. It is off to the right. And the gun has sounded. We have come to the end of an exciting first half at Cleveland Stadium. The score, the Browns 20, the Cowboys 7. We'll be back with the halftime activities in the second half of tonight's game after the news and sports. They will give it to the Cowboys here because the Browns had the opening kickoff tonight. And again, it is Ron Springs on the near side, and the deep man on the far side is Steve Wilson. As we get ready to get underway with the second half, 20-7, Browns lead the Cowboys. And here to call the action again is the Gibber. Thank you, Jim. For those of you listening, put on the seatbelts. Here we go again. Kick is going to Wilson this time. At the 5, 10 in the middle, 15 to the 20 to the right sideline, deep to the 25, and he is nailed hard out of bounds on the 31. He really got stocked after a 26-yard return by Ricky Jones and Lawrence Johnson. The Dallas Cowboys will start the football at the 31. They went up and down the field the first half, most of the time as though they owned the ground down there, and only got one touchdown out of it.
So, hang on. Ohio State band before the game played Hang On Sloopy. Pearson is flanked to the right. Dupree tight end right in. Hill is split to the left about 8 yards. They're in the tee. Handoff. Right tackle. Dorsett hit for no gain at the 31-yard line by Mickey Sims. 2nd and 10. Dorsett at 45 yards the first half. We have no word yet on Greg Pruitt's knee injury. Well, let's see if we can't get the folks in the bleachers waving those orange-brown bags here in the second half. There we go. Pearson flank left, Hill split 4 to the right. They're in the tee. Dupree tight at left end. Staubach hands to Laidlaw. Up the middle he comes to the 35, and he's driven back in a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Stonewall. Charge led by Shirk and Clarence Scott and Charlie Hall. Gib, we're told that Greg has a slight knee sprain, the right knee, and he will be coming back out of the locker room to see if he can run. So evidently it's not that serious. And should the Browns not need him, then I'm sure they will hold him out here in the second half. Springs and Pearson, the new running backs, as the Cowboys go into their shotgun offense and the Browns have their prevent defense. 3rd down, 6. Have to hit the 41. Staubach back in the pocket. He flew short at the 40, short of Springs, and a tremendous rush that time made him retreat as he threw the ball from St. Clair, and Shirk and the Cowboys have to give up the ball after 3 downs. Danny White comes in to punt. I can't think of too much that the Cowboys will have to do in the way of offensive adjustments. They have been successful, as you said, marching up and down the field in the first half. Turnovers have hurt them, but the Browns, I think, defensively will have to adjust to get that middle a little more covered. So Staubach does not find the picking that he found in the first half up through the guts of the Browns secondary. He's right in single safety at the 25-yard line. White gets the good snap, takes his time, gets a high punt. He's right under it on the 20, flag down. He's right is down at the 31. One of the Browns, I think it was Ricky Jones, pushed one of the Cowboys from behind. 45-yard punt, 11-yard return, but they're going to bring most of it back and then set it off. That's a clip, no matter where you touch him in the back. Thurman and Cosby were on the tackle. And also, this year, it is an illegal block if it is below the waist. So the special coverage teams have to be careful and sort of retrain their thinking. Part of the foul was the 27-yard line. They're going to mark it the 14. Find out who did it. I think it was 47.
Personal foul, 15-27 on return to 1st down.
You're absolutely right. Browns have it 1st and 10 at their own 14. Remind people you don't have to clip below the waist. You can clip any place in the back. Even the back of the helmet is a clip. Logan will split left. Brown starting at the 14. Rucker flank to the right. Calvin Hill's the halfback. They have the stacked eye, 3 men in there, and now Newsom goes in motion to the right. Calvin Hill, right tackle. It's the 17 and falls to the 18-yard line. A gain of about 4. Bruning and Harris were on the tackle. Hill that time ran right up Tom De Leon's back. He was blocking and knocked his man back a little bit, but couldn't move him out of the way. Browns got a 20-0 lead. Dallas came back 20-7, fumbled away 2 opportunities. And there was no scoring in the second quarter. Brian Sipe did not complete a pass in the second quarter after he got nailed by Henderson. Rucker flanked to the left. Logan split 7 to the right. Newsom tight at left end. They're in the tee. Handoff. Mike Pruitt, right tackle. He's hit down at the 21-yard line. Mike running as hard as ever, but the tackling is crisp by the Cowboys. And that time, middle linebacker Bob Bruning bringing up a 3rd down and 3. 12-15 to play. First, the third quarter. Browns by 13. Keith Wright comes in with a play. Reggie Rucker is coming out. This will be Keith's first time of the offense. Browns are getting out of the huddle slowly. 13 seconds left on the huddle clock. Right flank to the right. Logan splits 7 to the left. shifting into the team. Newsom tight at right end. Hand off. Mike threw it up the middle, hits the 25 and a first down with a yard to spare. A quick opener. Lewis and Martin on the tackle. Or is it Martin and Lewis? Wright's coming out, and Rucker goes back in. That's terrible.
I'll tell you one thing I would like to see. I'd feel a little more comfortable with the lead if we could see the Browns offense put together a sustained drive. That is something they have not been able to do so far, but they haven't had to, of course. They've had the big play offense.
Logan split right, Rucker flank to the left. They're in the eye. Big handoff. Sight to throw. There's a deep and Rucker's open. He can't quite get it. He tried a diving catch down on the Dallas 37-yard line, and he was open by about 5 yards. He beat Kyle and Harris.
He had his man beat by a good 5 yards that time. You're absolutely right. And Brian had time to throw the football, and he just put it to the outside, and Rucker had to make an adjustment. If he had thrown it a little bit more back to the inside, he would have had it. And now Seiden is 0 for 7 since the first quarter.
Second and 10. Browns on their own 25. Rucker flank to the right. Logan split left. There's the fake draw. Sight throwing. Way overthrown, intended for Rucker at the 44-yard line. That wouldn't... He'd have had to been down to the Dallas 40 to catch the ball.
Well, I think that ball just sailed on Brian. He didn't have much on it at all. He just reared back and fired it. Maybe he thought Rucker was going to make his cut a little deeper. He made his cut in front of the man, which seems to be right, and the ball just sailed a good 10 yards over his head.
Cleo Miller replacing Mike Pruitt at fullback. Third down, 10. Browns are 5 out of 10 on their third down efficiencies. Rucker flank to the right. Logan split 7 to the left. Newsom's out a yard at right end. They're in the T. Blitz, and he's nailed by Henderson back on the 15-yard line. Ran right over Brian's sight. It looked like a train. And the Browns will have to punt.
Brian gets up, and I'll tell you, he really took a shot. Henderson's helmet hit him right in his helmet that time.
They've been blitzing a lot on third down. That's an adjustment the Browns will have to make. And now, Dallas should get in good field position. The deep man this time is Wade Manning from Shaker Heights in Ohio State. And Johnny Evans is standing at the goal line. 10:38 to play in the third quarter.
Brian Seif is going to remember Thomas Henderson after this ball game.
Good snap. Low kick. Manning drops it on the 48, picks it up at the 47, starts to the right sidelines, and is in at the 45, and shoved out of bounds. We got a clip, I believe, thrown down across the field by Aaron Mitchell. Johnson and Jones made the tackle for the Browns.
Mitchell blocking on feature that time, I think, will be the guilty party.
Browns need that 15 yards right now.
That was only a 34-yard punt. Johnny Evans, who has been so consistent in the first 3 games, having his problems here tonight.
10:22 remaining in the third quarter, and 15 yards will be stepped off against the Cowboys. Well, each team's had one of those to start this third period.
Personal foul. Tripping 34 on the return. The first down.
Well, we had it right. It was Aaron Mitchell. And now the Cowboys, 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
There's an official timeout on the field to score the Browns 20 and the Cowboys 7. It's over. Let's see what they do this time.
1st and 10 at their own 39.
Pearson flank right, Hill split left. Dupree tight at right end, they're in the team. Laidlaw in motion, back to throw it, Staubach. He throws, caught by Dupree, and he's down on the Cleveland 43-yard line. Tackled by Bolton. Staubach 18-yard pickup. It's a wonder he can get open. He lumbers.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and that may be luring the defensive backs into some kind of a false sense of security, but that time, Staubach, for the first time, really worked it out to the outside, and he just got in behind Charlie Hall and in front of Ron Bolton in that zone coverage, and he was wide open.
New halfback for Dallas, Alois Blackwell, replacing Dorsett. Hill split right, and Pearson flank left. Within the team. Give to Laidlaw. Trying to go outside the end. He is nailed at the 42-yard line by Dick Ambrose. He had some help out there from Charlie Hall, and Mike St. Clair took out some of the blocking on the play. A gain of a yard. Now they put the ball back at the 43 for no gain. Browns have done a good job shutting down, really, the running game. Dorsett's back in. Saldy's in at wide receiver. He's lined up on the left side. Pearson is split to the right by 5. Saldy's a wing left. Now goes in motion to the right. Pitch to Laidlaw, right tackle. This time he's in at the 41. Fumble the ball, but let's see if the whistle blew. Hold it. They're blowing the ball dead, I think. Ambrose and Scott made the hit, and again they're calling the ball dead. Well, he picked up 2 yards, and it looked like he fumbled the ball just as he went down, but again, it was a quick whistle. That's happened a couple of times tonight, and has saved the Cowboys more than the 2 fumbles they've gotten. I wonder, Gib, if Brian might be a little groggy. I see Mark Mueller and Johnny Evans both warming up down on the sideline. We'll get a break after this play. It is 3rd down and 8. The running backs now are Preston Pearson and Ron Springs. The receivers, Jones and Burrell in the pass defense. The Cowboys going out of the shotgun now. Staubach gets the snap, back to throw. He's hit as he throws, and it is intercepted on the ground at the 28-yard line by Tom Garden. He was on the ground when he intercepted it. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
If you need bacon and eggs or bread for toast for tomorrow morning's breakfast, remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open till midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK Cleveland.
Well, we can get a commercial in here. The ball at the 28-yard line. The Browns get the football. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 20, the Cowboys 7.
Chevy Malibu's fuel economy with a Datsun 810 sedan, Toyota Corona sedan, or a Volvo 244 sedan. You'll find that Malibu, a roomy mid-size car, beats all 3 of those small foreign cars. That's according to the EPA's estimated MPG ratings, where Chevy Malibu got an impressive 22 miles per gallon. Remember, use this estimate for comparison. Your mileage may vary. And when it comes to price, Chevy Malibu wins again with a lower manufacturer-suggested sticker price than all 3 of those smaller foreign cars. More room, better mileage, and a lower price. Chevy Malibu.
Tom Garden with his second interception of the night, and Gib, some charity is going to get rich, or at least going to have a nice donation, because Tom has said this year he'll give $50 to a charity for every interception. Cleo Miller and Calvin Hill, the running backs, they shift into the T. Logan is split 5 to the left, and Rutgers the flanker to the right. Sight back to throw. Blitz on. Left flat. Caught. Miller to 20. 25. Oh, big steal ahead. 40. 45. 50. Down at the 45-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. And that time they did catch him in a blitz. And a great block by George Wheeler once again. He has thrown a couple of outstanding blocks. Cleo Miller did a good job of working the sidelines for 27 yards. It's unusual to blitz on first down, but the Browns have the play called against it. Lewis vacated right linebacker, and the pass came out in his area, which is the Browns' left flat. One thing, too, it's good to see Brian Sight back in there completing a pass, the first one since the opening quarter. We're now halfway through the third quarter. Logan will split 7 to the right. Rucker flank to the left. They're in the I formation. Give to Calvin Hill, right tackle. He gets about 2 to the 43-yard line. And again, the hard-hitting Dallas defense knocks him down, led by D.D. Lewis and Bob Bruning. Boy, they don't miss tackles very often. They really hit hard. They play good, sound, fundamental football, especially on defense. Offensively, you can't say that, at least tonight. They have, as you said, seemed rather uncertain at times, and of course they've made some costly turnovers. Newsom tight end right end. Rucker slot left. Logan split 10 to the left. They're in the deep. Sight to throw. He throws it. It is caught by Mike Root at the 40, and he's out of bounds on the 38-yard line, and Brian had trouble getting rid of the ball. He had two Cowboys right in his face. He was jittering around with his feet, and he made it finally a 5-yard completion, and D.D. Lewis made the tackle.
One thing for sure, Brian Stipe, one of his fine qualities is he holds on to that football to the last possible second, and folks, you will never see a better example of that than right there.
It is third down, 3. The ball is on the 38 of Dallas. Rucker slot left. Logan split left. Features in the ball game. I beg your pardon. He's the slot to the left. Take handoff. Give him the end around to Feature. Get in the backfield. He gets away. He's to the 40. Then he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 39 and winds up as a yard loss on the play. Hughes got him. Cole is the man who spoiled the play and almost made the tackle. He stayed home. And now it is 4th down. And the Browns have 5:59 remaining in the period, and they're going to punt again.
Well, you're right about the fellow who came in. He made Feature go too deep on his pattern. He had no chance to cut upfield after that because that secondary, linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks in Dallas, they really pursue. We've got word, and it's very doubtful that Greg Pruitt will return to action tonight. Let's hope he is not needed.
Evans the punt, Wade Manning back at the 10. Good snap. Kick is away.
There's a Johnny Evans punt. High one.
Into the end zone. So there's no return on that one. They're booing, and I don't know why. It's a 39-yard punt. It's going to stick the ball back on the 20-yard line. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 20, the Cowboys 7.
Did you ever notice that the menu at most restaurants gets boring after a while? Well, that can't happen at Denny's. Denny's believes that variety is the spice of life. So in addition to the more than 100 delicious items on its regular menu, Denny's offers interesting new ideas for lunch, dinner, and all-night specials. And they change every day, too. Each weekday, Denny's features a different soup and sandwich combination. For instance, Thursday is cheese soup with a meatloaf sandwich. Friday is clam chowder with a tuna melt. And Saturday is bean soup with a ham Reuben. The price for Denny's soup and sandwich ranges from $1.95 to $2.25. Other daily luncheon features include chicken tenderloin, a tomato stuffed with tuna salad, and a fruit salad plate. Denny's dinner specials include deep-fried scallops, ham Hawaiian, and beef stroganoff. And for late-nighters, Denny's features some fantastic and creative egg dishes. So, if you're looking to add some variety to your meals, try some of the daily specials at Denny's.
5:50 to go in the third quarter. The Browns still leading 20-7. Staubach and company will start 1st and 10 from the 20. Defensively up front for the Browns here on defense, Mike St. Clair and Jack Gregory. The tackles, Demler and Shirk. All Ambrose and Matthews, who started at the linebackers. The secondary is the same.
Salby's a slot right. Pearson is split to the right. Dupree tied at left end. He in the backfield. Salby in motion to the left. And off, Dorsett trying to sweep left end. He's hit at the 26, spins away to the 29-yard line, gets about 9 yards on the play.
Arm tackling.
Good block thrown out on the left flat by Lawless. They get him around the corner. Hall and Darden on the stop. It's a gain of 9. Second and 1. Be careful, defense. 5:20 to play, third quarter. Wind up in the eye. Ends are tight. Pearson flank to the right. They shift to the teeth. And off Laidlaw, straight ahead. 35, 39. Oh, he really cut loose on that one. Needed 1, gets about 10.
We got a good surge up front that time from the offensive line, and Laidlaw just went right through there.
Davis, Darden, and Hall made the tackle. Tony Hill's back in the lineup. Pearson will be flanked to the right. Alzado's back at right end for the Browns. Pearson flanked. Well, both ends are split now. And Dupree's a slot left. They're in the seat. Dupree in motion to the right. Staubach to throw. Alzado chasing. Screen to the left. And Laidlaw's nailed at the 40-yard line. A beautiful play by Dick Ambrose. 1 yard gain.
Matthews was out there too, and a good pursuit by the Browns up front. Demler was out there, St. Clair was out there. They had that one read well and played well.
2nd and 9. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Oh, my goodness, won't this game ever end? I really don't feel safe with a 13-point lead on the Dallas Cowboys. Although it's better than being 13 points down. I like that. Now the left side is flooded with 3 receivers. Now Dorsett goes back into the backfield. Pearson in motion to the right. Big handoff, Staubach to throw it. He's running to the right. He's to the 40. 45. Football, Charlie Hall knocked it out of his hands. Jerry Shirk has the ball on the Browns 44. Charlie Hall hooked it right out of his arm, and Shirk picked it up after 16 yards. That's the third fumble recovery by the Browns. Credit Charlie Hall with that one. Boy, the Browns have been hitting hard and been hitting in the right places. They have knocked the ball loose 3 times now, and the Browns come up with another turnover. And I'll tell you, Gib, Staubach got that play off with exactly 1 second on the huddle clock. And he wishes now he hadn't done it. That's right. Browns have the ball on their own 44-yard line. Browns offense has not done anything in the second quarter nor in the third. Rucker slot left, Logan split, 5 to the left. They're in the eye. Calvin Hill still at halfback. Rucker in motion to the right. Stripe rolls to the right. Throws it to the sidelines. Rucker's got it on the right side and out of bounds on the 46-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. And he's going to be about a half-yard short of the first down. Cleo Miller is coming in at fullback. Mike Pruitt coming out. This ball is actually touching the 47 of Dallas. And they'll have to get inside the 46. So it's second and about a yard and a half to go. Logan split right, Rucker slot right. Newsom tight at left end. And they shift into the eye. Calvin Hill up the middle. He's got a first down as he hits the 41-yard line and a gain of 6 big ones. And Hughes made the tackle from safety. Mike Pruitt coming back at fullback. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play, third quarter. Now the Browns are starting to move the ball a bit. Well, Hill put his head down that time and picked up about 3 yards on the hit. Good hard running by the veteran. Rucker, flank to the right. Newsom, tight at right end. Logan splits about 4 yards to the left. And they shift into the eye. Pitch to Calvin Hill, trying to turn right in, blocked by Mike Pruitt to the 40, and he gets up out a yard out of that, and he got rocked hard. And the man who did the rocking, 2 of them, Bruning and Mitchell, they caught him right between them. The gain is 1. Now the gain is 2. They put the ball closer to the 39. Another defense just might be in trouble on those plays, but Hill that time got a good block from Mike Pruitt, who tied up the corner man. But their linebackers and safeties pursue so well and so quickly that if you don't get around the corner in about a count of 1, you're in trouble. Cleo Miller's back at fullback. Logan splits 8 to the left. Rucker flank right. They shift into the T, and Rucker starts in motion to the left. Sight back 3 steps, looks, throws, sidelines. Rucker got it. He falls down as he hit at the 31-yard line. Very close to a first down. It's about 8-yard gain. Very close. If they mark it where he went down, it'll be a first down. He is right on the 31-yard line. The ball is straddling the 31. He'll have a first down by about half a length. No, he's short by a couple inches. Well, third down coming. Now view the quarterback or the coach. Would he gamble? Well, I tell you, you might say one thing against somebody else coaching, but Sam Rutigliano, he might gamble and then go for it on a 4th down. Well, he's not sending in a play, so it's up to Brian Sight. See if Brian gambles. Third down, about 3 inches to go at the Dallas 31. A minute 35 to play, third quarter, and the Browns lead 20-7. Rucker will flank to the right. Newsom tight at right end. Logan splits 5 yards to the left. They're in the D and shift into the I. Handoff. Mike Pruitt straight ahead for the first down as he hits the 30-yard line. Bruning in the middle of the pile to make the tackle. Gave it to the short man up that time. Here comes Cleo Miller back at fullback. Barnes is back at left corner replacing Aaron Mitchell, a rookie. The Browns, sixth play coming up. They've only had an 8-play drive. That's been the longest sustained drive they've had. 45 seconds left in the period. Rucker flanks to the right. Logan is split now to the left by 7 yards. Key in the backfield. Fake handoff. Sight to throw. He drills it over the middle to Rucker. Should have called a foul at the 5. Should have called it on Barnes, and they didn't. Rucker now is pointing, and that one was very obvious.
I tell you, the official was looking right at it and called absolutely nothing. That is the second time that Barnes and Rucker have gotten tied up down there. Rucker made his cut to the inside.
And the ball was in the air.
Ball was in the air, and Barnes just reached out and grabbed him as he went by.
Well, nobody's been called for interference tonight, have we?
Nope. We've had no interference calls. We've had relatively few penalties in this ball game. 2 against the Browns, 3 against the Cowboys.
He's right in for Reggie Rucker. Second and 10 at the Dallas 30. Wright is flanked to the right. Logan is split to the left. Hill is a slap back to the left. Sight to throw. Screen to the right. Ozzie Newsome. He's pulled down on a great defensive play by Thomas Henderson back on the 36-yard line. He got through the block and still made the tackle for a loss of 6.
Well, that's why we said he is also a good football player, along with being one who likes to talk a little.
That'll be the last play of the period. They'll let it run out. We're down to 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Rucker's coming back in. 1 second. That's the end of the third quarter in Cleveland. The score is still the Browns 20, the Cowboys 7.
Physical health. And now Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans offer you dental health care coverage to groups of 25 or more. Coverage to help you correct dental problems early, and that keeps health care costs down for all of us. For details, have your group official contact your Blue Cross and Blue Shield marketing office now. Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Northeast Ohio. More than just an insurance company.
Fans, this is Bill Mitchell from Mitchell Firestone Tire Centers. Sports enthusiasts want quality in football and in auto and tire services. Mitchell Firestone maintains high quality with the service you demand. Like the Cleveland Browns, Mitchell Tire strives to beat its competition with better products and super values. Real values. The kind you find in car service that's done well and priced right. Mitchell Firestone is famous for that kind of service. So check your yellow pages for our 6 Mitchell Tire Centers located in Bedford, Menor, Maple Heights, Cleveland, Parma, and Parma Heights.
Well, you fans, give yourselves a hand. For the second weekend in a row, the Cleveland Browns have set the mark in the NFL attendance-wise. 80,123 here tonight. Last weekend, 72,000 plus was the largest crowd in the NFL. And here comes a very crucial play. 3rd and 16 for the Browns at the Dallas 36.
Must get inside the 20. Rucker flank to the right. Logan is split 7 to the left. Newsom's out a yard at right end. They're in the D. Dallas shows blitz. Flag offside Dallas. Right back to throw. There she goes over the middle. Rucker's got it. And he's down at the 16-yard line at the first down without the penalty. Reggie Rucker at a perfect strike from sight for 20 yards. Well, they needed 16. They got 20. Beautiful pattern. Beautiful cross. Beautiful catch. I think Danny White was the man who moved. Dallas was taking a blitz by the middle linebacker beside him. Bruning jumped, got back, and then White moved, and then the ball was snapped. And the nose of the ball now still on the 16. linebackers coming out.
54. Defense, penalty decline.
Randy White, they called the offside penalty on it, but it was decline, of course. And Brian Sipe now 13 of 25 for 213 yards in this ball game.
Now it's down to the 15-yard line, Jim, and features in a wide receiver is slot to the left, Logan split to the left, Newsom tight end right end. They shift out of the eye to the T. Feature in motion to the right. Sight gives the ball. Mike Pruitt, left tackle. About a yard, and he stacks up, caught standing up at the 14-yard line. Oh, that's a tough defense. They've been giving up yardage on the ground for the first 3 games. They're not giving up much tonight on the ground. And here comes Reggie Rucker back in the game before Ricky Beecher. We're just starting the 4th quarter. Half minute into the period, the Browns with a 13-point lead would love to get a touchdown now.
Well, even a field goal will help because the Cowboys, don't forget, are not 2 touchdowns down. They only trail by 13 points. 2 touchdowns would put them ahead. The Browns can ensure that that will not be enough if they score even 3 here.
Logan split left, Rucker flank right. They're in the T. Sight back to throw. He's going to be hit. Oh, we got another flag. This time they call it on the down around the goal line.
Well, because
Logan was fouled, and I believe Bruning, 53, is the man who bumped him. It's about time. They've had 3 of those tonight. That's the first time they called it. He was knocked right off his feet.
They have gotten away with that kind of thing in the secondary twice already tonight. That time, they threw a flag.
The ball is down to the 2-yard line. It'll be first down and goal, and it is a very tough defense to move.
Interference, 25. Defense, the first down.
The man who was caught that time was Aaron Kyle.
Let's see what they do at the 2-yard line. The tight ends are all in there.
Sipe asking for quiet.
Willis Adams is a wing left. The ends are in tight. He in the backfield. Adams starts in motion to the right. Mike Pruitt up the middle. He's down to the goal. Touchdown! He scored! He was hit at the 1. He spun around and walked into the end zone. He throws the ball into the bleachers.
I tell you one thing, he just made a great second effort. He went up over the top and managed to get his feet down in the middle of that defense and just pushed it in. 56 yards in 10 plays. A very, very important score.
2 linebackers, D.D. Lewis and Guy Brown, just couldn't hang on to him at the 1-yard line. 14:04 remaining. They're waving the orange flag. Logan onto it. Holds now for Tom Cockcroft point try. Snap, spot, kick is up. It's blocked. It's blocked, and it was Bruning who blocked that one. That's the second one that's gone wrong tonight. But there's an official timeout on the field with the score. The Browns 26, the Cowboys 7.
Have you ever wondered how much your home is worth on today's market? Or how much down payment you would need to buy a new one? Are you familiar with the tax benefits of home ownership? Or what to do if your company transfers you out of town? Hello, I'm Wally Schirra, here to tell you that Realty World has the answers to these and other questions. Realty World is a respected international organization with specialists in every area, whose job is to keep you informed about the ever-changing world of real estate. They can help you with financing and tax information, relocation, and much more. So no matter what questions you have about real estate, call your independent Realty World broker for the answers.
Hi, this is Mike Pruitt, the Cleveland Browns and Realty World. Inviting you to listen to all the Browns games brought to you by your Northern Ohio Realty World brokers.
Well, the Browns have just taken it 56 yards in 10 plays, and Mike Pruitt went over on a great second effort from 2 yards out, and this may be a little hard to believe, folks, but that's the Browns' first rushing touchdown this season. And they now lead, following a blocked extra point, 26-7 with 14:04 of football left in this game.
And Brian Sipe is warming up again late in the ball game as he was in the first quarter. Ron Springs back in double safety with Steve Wilson. The approach by Cockcroft and the kick. Going short. Wilson at the 14, 20, 25, 30. Nailed at the 32 by Ricky Jones. Caught him head on, and Randy Rich hit him from the side. 18-yard return. Browns lead 26-7. That's the first touchdown since 6:35 remained in the first quarter. The nose of the ball is closer to the 33-yard line. Here come the Cowboys. Pearson will be flanked to the right. Hill will split left. Dorsett is a slot to the left. Now he goes back into the backfield. They're in the P. Dupree is tied at right end. Staubach back to throw. He throws, overthrown, intended for Dupree at the 49-yard line of the Cowboys. Missed him by at least 5 yards. Clarence Scott was covering on the play. Here comes Jack Gregory in now at right end, replacing Lyle Alzado to give him a rest. 13:50 to play in the game.
Well, after 2 straight games at home, Browns will hit the road again next Sunday. They'll travel to the Astrodome to battle the Houston Oilers, their first AFC Central Division opponent this season. And unless a miracle happens for Dallas, it looks like the Browns will go in 4-0.
Don't say that.
I say unless a miracle.
Pearson flank right. Hill split left by 4. He in the backfield. Staubach to throw it again. He pumps. He throws. It's incomplete at the 44-yard line. This time it was Drew Pearson who couldn't hang on to the ball. Boy, if they didn't hold Jack Gregory by the sleeve that time, his shirt was falling apart. One of the two.
They've been holding down there all night against those outside rushers for the Browns. I was watching Gregory. He's been held. Alzado has been held. It's a tough thing to call. Those linemen can extend their arms offensively now to block. And when they get those rushers turned inside away from the officials, hard to tell if they're holding or not.
Shirks back in at right tackle. Pearson and Springs are the running backs. And the other Pearson, Drew, is out to the right. They're in the shotgun. 3rd down and 10. Staubach back in the pocket. He said he has it deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete. I think Clay Matthews or Mickey Sims got his hand on the ball. I believe it might have been Mickey Sims.
St. Clair, I think, Gib. It'll either be Mickey Sims or St. Clair.
Anyway, it's incomplete, and the Cowboys will have to punt. Danny White will do the kicking. Keith Wright drops back in single safety at his 25. 13:38 remaining. The Browns lead 26-7.
Well, just as Brian Sipe has gotten hot again, Roger Staubach has had some trouble. 3 straight incomplete passes.
White standing on his 17-yard line. Kick is away. Short kick. Fair catch. Held by Keith Wright at the 33-yard line. And decent field position again for the offensive unit. A 34-yard punt, no return. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, Cleveland 26, Dallas 7.
Oh, that's a beautiful car, Fred.
Thanks, Bert.
Power steering, power brakes.
Right again.
The mask going to the roof.
Guess you want to know about that, don't you, Bert?
Good old Fred. Not everybody would put a sail on his car.
Oh, no, throw me a line over here, Bert.
Pretty soon you're going to tell me why you did it, Fred.
I am using the air to get better mileage. The air can get you better mileage, as long as it's in your tires. At Gulf, we found that the right tire pressure can save enough gas in a year to take the average family an extra 1,000 miles. Also, check your engine supply of air. That means an air cleaner that's clean and an air intake that's free of obstructions. These things don't cost a lot, but they can get you better mileage. And that's smart, because at Gulf, we think it's smart to get the most out of the gas you buy and the place you buy it. So drive smart.
Sure runs quiet, Fred.
Thanks.
Sails right along. Why don't we check the tires at that Gulf station on the other side of the tunnel?
Tunnel?
Well, fans, we are 13 and a half minutes away from the gun that will end this contest. The Browns are on top 26-7. The last time they had the ball, they scored. That has been the only scoring since the first quarter in this football game. And now the Browns have it again with pretty good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Brian Sipe brings out the offense.
Newsom's tight at right end. Rucker's a slot to the left. Logan is split 8 to the left. Shifting 2 to the team. Alvin Hill goes in motion to the right. They give to Mike Pruitt, right tackle. Head down, hits the 35-yard line, and he is hit hard. Gain of about 2. Mueller is coming in at fullback. Rooney, the middle linebacker, made the hit. There were 5 unbeaten NFL teams before this game started. 2 of them are on this field. There'll be 4 NFL unbeaten teams when this game is over. 2 apparently will be in the Central Division. Rucker flank right, Logan out 7 to the left, Newsom tight end right in, Sight back to throw. Left flat. Leo Miller gets 1 block, he's at the 37 and dragged down at the 37. Good pursuit by Henderson and D.D. Lewis.
And the good block thrown over there that time was Cody Risen. Cody Risen made a great block on the man who had Cleo Miller head on.
You'll see Cody get out on the field. He's out there in place of George Beaver. We're going to station break after this play. It is 3rd down and about 6. Mike Pruitt back at fullback, brought in a play. 12:16 to play in the ballgame. Browns lead 26-7. Rucker flank to the right. Alvin Hill's a slot left. Logan split left. Newsom tight end right in. Give to Mike Pruitt. Left tackle, dragged down at the 39, didn't make it. We pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
Has unexpected company just dropped in and your refrigerator's bare? Remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open till midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK Cleveland.
Getting ready to snap for the punt, and Jerry Sullivan does something on the ball and wants a new one. Johnny Evans will do the kicking. Wade Manning in single safety. Drifting back now to the 22-yard line. Evans hasn't had a boomer tonight. Needs one. Good snap. That's a little better. Back at the 20 to the 19 to the 18 goes Manning. Randy Rich got him wrapped up and he goes down. And Ricky Jones, the second man there. Weathers, the second man there. Randy Rich did it all himself, however. Excellent coverage. 41-yard punt. That's the longest of the night for Johnny Evans. But no return again. There's an official. Timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 26 and the Cowboys 7.
It may surprise you, but when you compare Chevrolet Monte Carlo's EPA estimated fuel economy ratings with a Toyota Corona sedan or a Volvo 264 GLA, you'll find that the much roomier Monte Carlo beats both of these small foreign cars. That's according to EPA estimated MPG rating, where Monte Carlo got an impressive 19 miles per gallon. Remember, use this estimate for comparison. Your mileage may vary. And to top it all off, the good-looking Chevrolet Monte Carlo even has a lower base manufacturer's suggested retail price than these small foreign cars. If you're looking for more room, better mileage, and a lower price, you should be looking at the Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
Yelling defense. Mike Staubach has it in the tee with Pearson flank to the right. Hill to the left. Saldy in motion to the right. Staubach back to throw. Throws a screen to the right to Saldy to the 20, to the 25, he's to the 30, and tripped down by Tom Darden at about the 34-yard line. That got him out of the hole. 14-yard pickup, maybe 15. Later they spot the football. It is closer to the 35-yard line, a 15-yard advance. Gee, the bleacher people may have provoked them a bit.
It was interesting during the commercial break. Jerry Shirk and Mike St. Clair were down there encouraging the bleacherites to wave those brown bags.
Pearson flank to the right, Hill split left. There's the draw. Up the middle comes Laidlaw to the 40, to the 41-yard line, and Shirk on the tackle.
Shirk did a good job playing off the block of Herbert Scott that time and got him behind the runner and pulled him down.
Gain of 6. Browns lead by 19 points. And folks, we have 10 minutes to play. It seemed like an eternity. Harbaugh can't stay on the ground too long. Pearson will flank left. Hill split to the right. Dupree tight at left end. Cowboys are in the deep. Staubach back to throw. Pumps. He's hit. Schertz got him. St. Clair's got him, and he's down at the 34-yard line. Loss of 7. He pumped once too many.
Cannot take all time. They're giving him good protection, but that time, Schertz and St. Clair were able to fight their way through the blocks for the big sack. A loss of 7 on the play.
Scoreboard lit up with a fancy sign, Alzado. He's not even in the ball game. Gregory's at right end. Here comes the prevent defense now. They're adding Burrell and Jones. Charlie Hall and Dick Ambrose are coming out. Now we have Springs and Preston Pearson in the backfield. Pearson will be the left-hand split. He'll split right. Dupree. Make that Saldy is the slot back. They have a double wing. They're going with a shotgun. Staubach back to throw. He's in trouble. Rolling to the right. He's hit. He's on his feet. He's hit again. He's still on his feet. Now he's down. Back on the 24 by Jerry Schertz. 3 of the Browns had him, and they couldn't hang on. They finally got Schertz to pull him down for a loss of 10 more. 17 yards in 2 consecutive plays, and the Cowboys have to punt. And the scoreboard says that's defense.
And that's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you one thing. That Brown secondary did a lot of that. You saw all the moves being made up front with Schertz and Gregory and St. Clair getting in there, but the secondary had every possible receiver covered.
We should also say that's entertainment. Danny White to punt to Keith Wright. 8:40 remaining. Clock is running down against the Cowboys. White standing at the 9. Kick is away. Oh, it's a beauty. Keith Wright, fair catch, and holds it. At about the 33-yard line again. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 26, the Cowboys 7.
One day I drank a glass full, it really tasted great. But any drink that tastes so good, it's gotta add some weight. I said, Mr. How much sugar? And his precious soul is hot. He said, sugar-free cotton club, there's no sugar, not a drop. For years now I've been drinking sugar-free cotton club. If there was sugar in it, I'd be fat and big up. And I tried all flavors, I drink them all right down. And let me tell you people, I haven't gained a pound. If you think you're soft in flavor, sugar and capsicum, and calories in every swallow, here's a tasty tip. You sugar without sugar, start with the letter C. Drink sugar-free cotton club, there's no sugar, no siree.
Well, I don't know if you can hear it at home, but that's the fans here at the stadium yelling, "We want Pittsburgh," and waving those orange bags. We want Pittsburgh, say the fans, as the Browns, with 8:26 to go in this ball game, leading 26-7 over the previously undefeated Dallas Cowboys. 1st and 10 at their own 33.
Rucker slot right. Logan split to the right. Newsom tight at left end. Hill and Pruitt. Pitch to Mike Pruitt. Trying to turn right end. He's nailed at the 34 for a gain of a yard, and Bob Bruning, the middle linebacker. The flex defense makes it virtually impossible for the offense to block the middle linebacker. And boy, they improved that. That Bruning has made a lot of tackles tonight.
You know, interestingly enough, last year the Browns had perhaps their most successful ground game against the same flex defense, but as played by the New Orleans Saints. And there's a big difference between the flex defense of the Saints and the flex defense of the Cowboys. It's called exceptional personnel.
That's like me playing Hamlet. Logan splits 7 to the left. Rucker flanks to the right. They ship out of the I to the T. Newsom's tight at right end. Takes handoff. Sights the throw. He got hit as he throws it. Deep to Logan. It's overthrown down to the Dallas 25-yard line. They had double coverage on Dave Logan, and Sights really got nailed. Kyle and Harris were covering on the play.
Sights has taken several real good shots tonight. And if there was any doubt about whether or not he would have any relapses from the beating he took at the end of last season, a lot of people speculated about that earlier in training camp. But I would say if he's held up in this ball game tonight the way he's been banged around, he will be all right.
Browns haven't gone into a shell either. 3rd down and 9, 7:38 remaining. It still isn't over. Newsom, they have a double wing now. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. The draw, Cleo Mueller up the middle. He's slapped down at about the 37. The Browns will have to punt. Helgren, the reserve linebacker, made the tackle. Johnny Evans, the punt. He has a 36.7 average. We have 7:22 remaining. The clock is running down. The fans want Pittsburgh. Number 1, this game isn't over. Number 2, next week the Browns got to play the Houston Oilers.
Let's take them one at a time, folks.
Evans to punt. Steve Wilson now is in single safety at the 20-yard line. Clock's running. 7 minutes to play. Sullivan will snap it. It's shade low. Here's the kick. Off the side of his foot, but it's getting some distance to the 32 and rolls out of bounds at about the Dallas 33. And Logan Evans just isn't hitting the ball well.
I was watching him. It looks like he's dropping it at an angle on his foot. 30 yards on that kick.
He's got off some excellent kicks this season, but he's just not doing it tonight. Well, the Dallas offense is out on the field with 6:46 to play. They have 1 touchdown, and that was in the first quarter. A 48-yard strike from Staubach to Hill. Nothing since. 26-7. Hill will be split to the left. Pearson flanked to the right. Dupree tight his right end, but in the eye. Fake handoff, back to throw it. Staubach drills it. Caught by Pearson at the Brown 47, and Bolton's got him wrapped up. There's some help on the fumble. The whistle had blown because his forward progress was the 47. They had shoved him back to the 49. It's a 20-yard gain, and the Cowboys have started moving again. Now they have to also beat the clock. They move the ball to the 46-yard line of the Browns, 21 yards. 6:19 remaining, clock's running. Cowboys have their 3 timeouts left. Browns have 3, and they'll never use any of them. Pearson flanked to the right. Hill split to the left. Dorsett to slot left. And Gregory nails Staubach as he throws it out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Boy, did he climb up Roger Staubach. He was just in the motion of throwing the ball. That's very legal. I don't think anybody touched Jack, except Roger.
Roger would probably tell you it's the other way around. Staubach now 16 of 30 for 240 yards in this ball game. 1 touchdown. He's been intercepted twice.
Cowboys. 2 fumbles. Pearson flanked to the right. Hill split 4 to the left. 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles. Staubach, remember? They're in the eye. Handoff. There's the draw. Up the middle. Dorsett to the 40 to the 38 of the Browns. He's still a couple of yards short of the first down. Clarence Scott made the tackle. You're right. Our statistician only has 2. He's a wait a minute, he's going to explain it. He's got it in one column, but he doesn't have it in the other column. No one's perfect. 3rd down and 2. Even the Cowboys are not perfect.
Clock running, 5.5 minutes.
3rd down and 2. They're in the T. Pearson flank right, Hill split left. Dorsett, right tackle. Should have a first down. He got leveled by Mickey Sims, but I think he has the first down and a couple of extra bruises. 3-yard gain. It is a first down.
That is his Staubach handing off on the last couple of plays. You can bet he is thinking about going to the air, which is what he has to do, so he's trying to set something up with those runs.
He needs 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 45 seconds, too. He can hand off all night. Browns love it. Staubach back in the pocket. He throws overthrown at the 5-yard line, intended for Drew Pearson. Gary Circus putting some pressure on that time, and Clarence Oliver Davis had perfect coverage on Drew Pearson. We have 4:34 remaining, and barring a miracle, something like lightning striking all of the Browns, well, they have the
wrapped up. It happened, don't forget, to the Cowboys in the first quarter. I think that the Browns have finally proven, Gib, that they are not a team that you can just sit back there, a quarterback can anyway, and pick on now and not worry about a rush. Wilson's in a wide receiver. He'll be flanked to the left. Hill is split to the right. The three-sided left hand. Staubach back in the pocket. He's hit by Schultz. He's down back on the 42-yard line. Oh, did he get leveled in? Nobody to throw to. Perfect coverage by the defensive backfield. A loss of 7. He had perfect coverage by the backfield. He did not have a receiver open. He tucked away from the outside rush of St. Clair, and Shirk came up the middle and nailed him again. Hey, Jerry must have three and a half sacks in this ball game. They spot the ball back on the 43-yard line. Loss of 8. And that is the 4th sack by the Browns. Here's the shotgun offense now on 3rd down. 17 to go. Staubach to throw. Drills in the middle. It is caught. I believe it's Wilson, and he's down at about the 22-yard line for a first down. Darden made the tackle. It was Wilson. 21 yards. Cowboys aren't done yet. However, 3:47 remaining. The clock is running. Now the Browns go to their regular defense. Hall and Ambrose coming back in. Cowboys in the huddle with 3.5 remaining. Cowboys still in the huddle. 14 seconds left on the huddle clock. Hill is split right. Wilson flanks to the left. They shift into the T. Dupree tight at left end. Staubach back to throw. He throws it in the end zone. A wobbly pass. And it is intercepted and dropped in the end zone. It was caught and it was right through the hands of Clay Matthews. 3:08 remaining, 2nd and 10. Back to the 22-yard line. The Browns again go to their prevent defense. Oh, the wounded Dustin through. Pearson is back in the ball game at wide receiver. That's Drew Pearson. Here comes Ron Springs in at halfback. He better get off the field. He did. Hill split to the right. Pearson to the left. Back to throw it. Staubach, flags down, whistles blow, slow to play dead. This flag was thrown by the line judge opposite the head linesman. I haven't the vaguest idea what this is about. Was it illegal procedure? Well, it could be that, or it could be that an infraction occurred just off the line of scrimmage that was out on the far side. It would appear to be against the Cowboys. It is. That would have been an illegal formation. We'll find out.
Illegal shift, tackle on cover, and illegal move. Offense, 2nd down.
Illegal shift. Tackle was uncovered, he said. Without reporting. Maybe he lined up as a tight end and they didn't report. I don't know.
No, he wasn't an end.
Anyway, they shifted wrong.
Shouldn't uncover in front of 80,000 people.
Right.
Same formation. Tackle's covered this time. Staubach back to throw.
He throws it in the corner. Incomplete. Almost a touchdown. It was into the hands of Tony Hill, and Clinton Burrell, the rookie, whipped it out of his hands. He made a great defensive play. Hill was open for a moment, but Burrell made a great recovery and just got out in front of him after he stumbled, allowing Hill to open, and he got there just in time to knock that ball away. Great coverage by the rookie.
3rd down. 15. We have 2:58 to play. The Browns with a 19-point lead. Now, a few of the fans are starting to head for the exits, but the exits are pretty well clogged. They're not even leaving yet. Pearson, split left. Hill, split right. Saldy's the slot left. Back to throw it. Staubach throws it in the corner again. Overthrown out of the end zone. Intended for Saldy, and that brings up a 4th down. Cowboys with 2:51 remaining might as well go for it because they're down on the Browns' 27-yard line. They will go for it.
Well, a field goal will not really help them with that amount of time left on the clock.
I'm not sure that's very wise, throwing the last two deep into the end zone, but with the record they've had over the years, I'm not going to question any of their strategy.
Oh, yeah, it would seem that they would try what has been successful for them earlier, and that is medium deep stuff across the middle because they could still get it in the end zone. But going wide like that, you know, the Browns, one thing they're going to present is that long pass. They're going to try and keep them out of the end zone.
Preston Pearson and Ron Springs in the running backs are in the shotgun, 4th down and 15. They got to get to about the 7-yard line or inside it to get the first down. Staubach back to throw. He whips it over the middle. Drew Pearson's got it. He's down at about the 9. He's short of the first down. The Browns are going to take over the football. Davis made the tackle that saved the first down. Browns offense coming out on the field. 2:38 to play. The Browns have this one wrapped up. Ball is on the 14-yard line. .238 remaining.
Well, the Browns will go into Houston next week to take on the Oilers with a 4-0 record.
See the Browns try to run down the clock. Logan split left, Rucker flank right. Calvin Hill up the middle to the 17-yard line.
Don't forget the Cowboys have 3 timeouts remaining, and I'm sure they'll use them there. They use one right there.
Bruning and Harris made the tackle. The clock, of course, will stop in 28 playing seconds from now at the 2-minute warning. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 26 and the Cowboys 7.
Okay, guys, hold it. Let's do it again, and this time let's do it right. 1, 2, 1. All right, yeah, that's the way to do it. We worked half the mile just to get it right. Now it's all behind. Got to get it on my mind. I've got half to get it on my mind. More and more lately I find I've got a taste for living. I'm thinking for the living. I've got half to get it on my mind.
There are a lot of beers, but there's only one Pabst. It's brewed to be the best, naturally, with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it.
I've got half to get it on my mind.
Well, this one is all but over, and the Browns will have a perfect record. Intact at 4-0. 26-7 is the score right now with 2:28 remaining. The Cowboys have used one of their 3 timeouts here. And, of course, the clock will stop, as Gib pointed out, at the 2-minute warning. So, regardless of what the Browns do, the Cowboys know they've got 3 more stops, but they've got too many points to try and get.
Line up in the eye with Rucker flank to the right and Logan split to the left. Calvin Hill up over right guard, dives to the 20-yard line, maybe over the stripe. And Dallas calls another timeout. Bruning on the tackle, along with Hickman. You fans, you have been super tonight at the stadium. Please don't spoil it by racing out on the field after the game. Browns players would appreciate if you... Well, what a football game. The Browns exploded for a 20-0 lead in the first quarter. Dallas got another touchdown to cut it 20-7. And that ended the scoring until the fourth quarter when Mike Pruitt came in from the 2-yard line, and that put it away. Thanks to some defensive heroics later in the fourth quarter.
You have to give a lot of credit to the Browns defense tonight because while the offense exploded for 2 quick touchdowns, the Browns defense got one of those touchdowns on an interception by Darden, who has 2 here tonight. And they have been hitting very, very hard all night. They forced 3 fumbles in this football game, resulting in Browns recovering all 3. And 2 of those stopped Dallas drives deep in Cleveland territory. So the defense has played exceptionally well against the Cowboys. 3rd and 3, Cleo Miller is the fullback. And Sipe is going to throw it. To Cleo Miller, left flat, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's to the 35. He's to the 40. He is down at the 47-yard line, and Brian pulled another one out of the hat. And Tyler Harris made the tackle. 26 yards. Now we're down to the 2-minute warning. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 26, the Cowboys 7.
Hello, I'm Wally Schirra. One of the first things you'll learn as an astronaut is to have trust and respect for the people who back you up. The same is true when you're buying or selling a home. That's why Realty World has been so successful. Realty World brokers and associates have earned the trust and respect of their clients through the professional service they provide. Realty World people undergo intensive training to provide you with the service and results you deserve. So whatever your real estate needs, turn to your independent Realty World broker, the most respected sign in real estate. Hi, this is Mike Pruitt of the Cleveland Browns in Realty World. For information about the Realty World office nearest you, dial 826-1250. That's 826-1250.
Browns have made some wholesale substitutions on offense now with only 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Pat Moriarty is in there for the first time. Seeing some action, the rookie from Cleveland. That is action other than special teams. They shift into the team. Mike Pruitt's the fullback. Ends are inside, and Teacher is the flanker to the right. 2 tight end offense. Moriarty, right tackle. He's to the 50. He's to the 49-yard line. Pat Moriarty, the rookie from Cleveland, gets 4 yards on the play. Bob Bruni, the middle linebacker, on the hit. Tackles made also by Bruce Thornton, the defensive end. Well, the Cowboys only have 1 timeout remaining. Of course, they realize it would be rather futile even to take that at this point. 1:30 remaining in the ball game, and the clock running. 1:25. Ends are tight. Teacher flank right. They're in the T again. Mike Pruitt, left tackle. Can't go outside. He's hit by D.D. Lewis. At just about the line of scrimmage. 1:09 remaining. Clock is running. You know, it's no prize nice enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys any place in the world, especially in front of a nationwide television audience, and beat them by 19 points. But the Browns will have to get back down to earth very quickly because they have to play the Houston Oilers, and that's no patsy by any chance. And they have got a short work week to get ready because of this Monday night football game. They'll be off tomorrow and back to work on Wednesday. 41 seconds to play. Dallas has 1 timeout left. They're in the team. Give to Moriarty, right tackle. Gets a couple to about the 47-yard line of the Cowboys. 4th down coming. If Dallas doesn't call a timeout, now they do call a timeout. The clock would have expired, so the Browns will have to punt. That's the last timeout. 24 seconds to play. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
If you're looking for something tasty for an after-game snack tonight, remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open till midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK, Cleveland.
Well, it does not look like the Browns are going to punt on 4th and 4. They're going to go ahead and snap one here, and the Cowboys will get the football, but they'll only have like 24 seconds remaining in the ball game, so it'll be very doubtful if they can do anything but get off one play, if even that. So the Browns have got this one in or under their helmet. In the brown bags. Right. They're in the T again. Give to Mike Pruitt, left tackle, to the 45-yard line, to about the 44-yard line of the Cowboys. Short of the first down. Doesn't matter. They'll stop the clock momentarily. Then they'll resume it. Get everybody ready on the exchange of possession. Once the defense is in position, they'll start that clock. 17 seconds remaining. maybe 2. Well, everybody said the Browns were out to prove tonight that they could play with the big boys being the Dallas Cowboys. At least against the Dallas Cowboys, they proved they can play. Staubach is in for either the last snap or the next to last. Back in the pocket. Throws it. Caught. Preston Pearson is nailed out of bounds on the Browns' 49-yard line by Oliver Davis after a gain of 7. And we have 11 seconds remaining. We'll bring you the wrap-up of what happened in the NFL in case you didn't catch it all. We'll also, we have some important baseball games being played tonight. Second down and 3 with 11 seconds to play. And they're out of timeouts. It's over, folks. A matter of ticking that clock down. Caught by Drew Pearson. He's hit out of bounds on the 44-yard line of the Browns. 6 seconds remaining. I think it's the 43 as they did not get out of bounds, I don't think. Did he? Yes, he did. Did you see the official wave stop the clock? On the 43, it's all immaterial. Browns gave up 1 touchdown, a 48-yard bomb. So the defense has done a great job against one of the top offensive units in the NFL. Staubach is 287 yards, but only 1 touchdown. This may be the last one. Staubach in the pocket. He throws it over the middle. Preston Pearson, that's the last play. He's to the 30. He's down on the 26-yard line. This ball game is over at Cleveland Stadium, and the fans have had a big party tonight. The final score, the Cleveland Browns 26, the Dallas Cowboys 7. Gets a block, fakes, runs, 35, 40.
Tonight's game between the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys has been brought to you by not enough rest. Not eating the right foods can get anybody pushed out of shape. Keeping physically fit can benefit you in more ways than one, especially with today's rising healthcare costs. Ask your doctor about a diet and exercise program now, because keeping healthy keeps healthcare costs down for everybody. Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Northeast Ohio. More than just an insurance company.
Some of the fans who were caught in the traffic jam got here late and probably didn't see some of the fireworks because most of them happened in the first quarter. Nobody was settled in the seats when Brian Sipe unloaded a 23-yard pass to Dave Logan with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds elapsed time in the first quarter. The extra point was missed. Then Sipe to Newsom, 52-yard completion. Point was good. It was 13-0 with only 9:32 remaining in the first quarter. Then Tom Darden intercepted the first of his 2 and ran 39 yards for a score. With 7:55 remaining in the first quarter, it was 20-0. Extra point was good. Then, in the first quarter, Roger Staubach to Tony Hill, 48 yards. Point was good. With 6:35 remaining in the quarter, it was 20-7. That was the end of the scoring in the first quarter. It was the end of the scoring in the first half. It was the end of the scoring through 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, 1 touchdown. Mike Pruitt folded in from the 2. That extra point was blocked, but nobody cared because the final score read 26-7, and the defense took over in the second half. They gave up a lot of yardage in the second quarter, but buckled down when they needed to in the second half to put it away. Our thanks to our spotters, Paul Patrick and Bob Brady, our statistician, Dick Goddard, Gib Shanley speaking for Jim Mueller, and our engineer producers,
George Gates, and Art Greenberg from Cleveland Stadium. Announcers on Cleveland Browns Network are selected by WHK Radio in Cleveland and approved by the Cleveland Browns. This broadcast came to you through the authority of the Cleveland Browns and the National Football League. Any rebroadcast or other use of the play-by-play description without the express written consent of the Cleveland Browns or the National Football League is prohibited. Gets a block, fakes, runs, 35, 40, 45.
Cowboys has been brought to you by John Deere. They've got the 8 or 10 horsepower snowblowers that make short work of clearing heat drifts from long driveways. Realty World, your Northern Ohio realty brokers. Gulf Oil Corporation, who reminds you to keep your car tuned. It's a great way to make your car go further. Society National Bank and Blue Cross Blue Shield plans of Northeast Ohio. Chevrolet Motor Car Division and the Chevy Man, your greater Cleveland area Chevrolet dealer. Tasting Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. Pabst is brewed slowly and naturally to give you the best taste in beer. And the Cotton Club Bottling Company, makers of the famous Big Ginger, Less Sweet Ginger Ale. Summertime is the time of year when you really want to truly show your special someone you care. And what finer way than the gift from Green's Jewelers. 726 Euclid Avenue, one door east of the Hippodrome Theater. You'll find quality merchandise of every description in beautifully set diamond engagement sets, ladies and men's diamonds, all quality gems at reasonable prices. Green's Jewelers has a tremendous selection of precious and semi-precious stones, necklaces, bracelets, plus any type of occasional jewelry you could desire. Name brand watches including Bulova, Longines, Seiko, Citizens, plus a complete digital watch display. Green's Jewelers' central downtown location affords them the edge in competition. Low overhead, complete inventory. Shop Green's Jewelers, 726 Euclid Avenue, one door east of the Hippodrome Theater. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5:30. Charge on any major recognized credit card, or use Green's convenient credit or layaway plan. If you need a treat for the kids' school lunchbox tomorrow, remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open until midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK, Cleveland.
Save up to 50% on famous name brand clothing and accessories at Suits Incorporated. Suits Incorporated's no-profit, quick-turn operation means extra savings to you. Right now, you can buy a 4-piece famous name brand suit for as low as $109.88. Are you tired of spending up to $20 on dress shirts? Suits Incorporated comes to the rescue with Arrow, Manhattan dress shirts for $6.99. That's right, $6.99. Suits Incorporated is a total discount store. That means you can buy a Botany 500 all-weather coat at a fantastic low price way below retail. Do you want a European designer corduroy suit? We have it for $69.88. We also carry all the famous designers at big discounts. At Suits Incorporated, you'll find clothing from size 35 short to 56 extra long. Courteous and knowledgeable salespeople and expert tailoring. The only thing they discount is price, never service. They have 5 locations, all in beautiful suburban shopping centers. Cedar Center, Parmatown next to Cunningham's, Great Northern next to Gray's, Winter near Zayers, and Akron in the Fairlawn Plaza.
The Brown Scoreboard is brought to you by your qualified electrical contractor, the man with the know-how to get the job done right the first time. And brought to you by McDonald's.
Gib Shanley back at Cleveland with the scoreboard, just to remind you what happened yesterday at the National Football League and bring up to date on the standings in case you've been missing them. The Buffalo Bills defeated the New York Jets at home by a score of 46-31. Actually trailed in the first quarter by a score of 17-6. Pittsburgh Steelers came from behind with a touchdown in the fourth quarter. A 28-yard screen pass from Bradshaw to Cunningham to beat the Baltimore Colts 17-13. The New England Patriots fought off the San Diego Chargers and won it 27-21. And one of the big surprises of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs murdered the Oakland Raiders 35-7. The Houston Oilers came from way behind to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 30-27. That game went in sudden death overtime. Fritz won it with a 29-yard field goal. The New Orleans Saints were behind early in the ball game and rallied to beat the 49ers 30-21. The Denver Broncos came storming back against the Seattle Seahawks 37-34. and Seattle had a big lead in that one, too. The Detroit Lions whipped the Atlanta Falcons 24-23. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the hapless Giants 17-13. Tampa Bay Buccaneers proved they're for real over the Los Angeles Rams 21-6. The Miami Dolphins whipped the Bears 31-16 on 3 touchdown runs by Larry Zonka. The Minnesota Vikings whipped the Green Bay Packers by a score of 27-21. That was a sudden death overtime. A 50-yard pass, Kramer to Rashad, won it. And the Washington Redskins surprised the St. Louis Cardinals 17-7. The Cardinals helped it by losing 5 fumbles. There are 4 unbeaten teams in the National Football League. In the American Conference Central Division, the Browns and the Steelers. In the Eastern Division, it's Miami. And in the National Conference, there is 1 unbeaten team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our scoreboard will continue in a moment.
What makes a union electrician special? Dedication, skill. A union electrician is a special guy because he's gone through an incredibly tough training program before he's certified as the best there is. Over 8,000 hours of on-the-job training under close supervision. Nearly 600 hours in the classroom learning the latest developments in his industry. Constant testing, including unbelievably strict national exams. 4 years of one hurdle after another. But a union electrician knows it's all worth it, because when he's done, he knows he's the best. That's why qualified electrical contractors employ only union electricians. Because when a union electrician does it, he does it right the first time. So when you see a symbol that says QEC, you'll know that the electrician wearing it is the best, a union electrician. For a list of qualified electrical contractors in your area, call 241-5216.
In the Central Division, the American Conference, the Browns and the Steelers are 4-0, but the Houston Oilers are not far behind, working there with a 3-1 record, and the Browns have to play in Houston next Sunday. It's going to be Ohio week in Texas because the Bengals have a date down in Dallas next Sunday. Miami leads New England by 1 game in the Eastern Division, and the Western Division, San Diego and Denver are tied for the lead. Kansas City, surprisingly enough, is 1 game out. In the National Conference East, a 3-way tie for the lead. Dallas, Philadelphia, and Washington. Cardinals are 2 games back. In the Central Division, it's Tampa Bay with a 2-game lead over Chicago and Minnesota. In the Western Division, the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams are tied for the lead with 2-2 records. In baseball, the Indians were idle tonight, so in the games that mean something in the pennant races, in the American League, the Kansas City Royals lead the California Angels 3-2 at the end of 4.5. The Angels come into the game with a 3-game lead. Pittsburgh took 1 from Montreal, the first of a doubleheader, 5-2. Blyleven won his 12th. Robinson got his 24th home run. And the Pirates lead Montreal 6-3 in the second game at the end of 7. Montreal started the night with a half-game lead. If Pittsburgh wins both games, Pittsburgh will be a game and a half in front. Also, in the Western Division, Atlanta defeated the Houston Astros 5-4. And that's the first game of a doubleheader. Atlanta won the second one 8-1. Cincinnati idle. So Cincinnati has taken a 2.5-game lead over Houston. And the way the Reds have been playing, it appears they are pretty well on their way. Philadelphia lost to St. Louis tonight, but Pete Rose in the second inning got his 200th hit of the season. He has had 10 200-hit seasons. He is the first player in the Major League history to do that. And he also has a 22-game hitting streak, the longest in the majors at the moment. Our scoreboard continues after this message.
Wherever you feel this weekend, there's always a McDonald's close by, right on your way.
Nobody's closer if you're home or on the run. We're right there on your way to your weekend fun. We're nearby all the way as you take the fun. If you're home or far away, nobody makes your day like you know we can.
Winning, sailing, That means shopping or just staying close to home. Whatever you're up to this weekend, good times are just around the corner at McDonald's. Because we're always close by, so you don't have to go out of your way. Stop in for a Big Mac, large fries, and an icy cold Coca-Cola. Because for good food and good fun, you know nobody can do it like McDonald's.
We're close by, right on your way.
Remember, wherever you're going or whatever you're doing, there's always a McDonald's right on your way.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
The statistics on this game tonight, Brian Sipe, 15 out of 28, 239 yards gross, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, sacked once for 10 yards. His net passing is 229. Roger Staubach, 21 out of 39, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 304 yards gross, sacked 4 times, 33 yards in losses, so his net is 271. But the Cowboys ran up 394 yards to the Browns' 311. One of the big stories of the game, the turnovers. As the Browns recovered 5 altogether, 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. And the Cowboys had just the 1 interception off Brian Sipe, no fumble recoveries. Leading runner in the game, Tony Dorsett, 14 carries, 64 yards. For the Browns, Mike Pruitt, 13 carries, 27 yards. Greg Pruitt went out in the second quarter with a knee injury. We don't know the extent of it as yet. Leading receiver, Drew Pearson for the Cowboys, 6 catches, 111 yards. And for the Browns, Reggie Rucker, 5 catches for 57 yards. The story of the game basically was the Browns' 3 strikes quickly in the first half, 2 by the offense, 1 by Tom Darden on the interception return for the touchdown. And then when Dallas tried to come back, they just kept coughing up the football and appeared to lose heart in the second half. So it's on to Houston next Sunday, where it's always fun in the Astrodome, especially against the Oilers. If you play a Pee Wee team, we'd be better off. 80,123 screaming fans at the stadium tonight. Now stay tuned for Jim Mueller's locker room report. This is Gib Shanley. That's tonight's football scoreboard.
The Brown scoreboard has been brought to you by your qualified electrical contractor. The QEC man gets the job done right the first time. And by McDonald's. McDonald's, we're right on your way.
One stop, and you're all set with the finest service yet. Mitchell Tire, where the customer is king.
Hi, Bill Mitchell from Mitchell Firestone Tire Center, serving Cleveland and vicinity for over 40 years. Today, Mitchell Tire, with 6 locations, is large enough to give you maximum savings in your tire or service needs, yet small enough at each location to give you the type of personalized service you desire. Each manager is able to personally see that your particular tire or auto service is attended to promptly and handled to your satisfaction. Look for your nearest Mitchell Firestone Center in the Yellow Pages, located in Bedford, Menor, Maple Heights, Cleveland, Parma Heights, and North Randall.
Mitchell Tire, Mitchell Tire.
Yes, a ham and cheese sandwich in your favorite cold beverage sounds pretty good right now. Remember, all convenient Food Mart stores are open till midnight every night, including tonight. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns, WHK Cleveland.
Would you like to be the mascot for the Cleveland Browns? If you're a boy or girl between the ages of 8 and 14, you can sign up for the Browns Mascot Club, sponsored by WHK, the Plain Dealer, Cotton Club, and the Browns. Each member gets an official club membership card, a Browns decal, and special Browns poster. 9 winners will be selected from club members to serve as the official Browns mascot for each of the home games. And one of those 9 will win a trip to the Super Bowl. To join, look for the entry form in the Plain Dealer or call WHK for details.
Last year, we asked you to ride your bike for all the kids around here who can't ride at all because they've got cancer. Thanks to everyone who helped, last year's bike-a-thon was the best ever. Now we're asking you to help us make this year's even better. Call the American Cancer Society at 241-1177 and tell them Sunday, September 30th, you'll be riding in the bike-a-thon. You might win a prize, and you're sure to help. Come on, call 241-1177 today and join the bike-a-thon. I'm Carolyn Carr from WHK, and I'll be in the bike-a-thon, won't you?
The Locker Room Report is brought to you by Union Commerce Bank. Union Commerce, the bank that starts with you. The Plain Dealer, Ohio's largest newspaper. When sports news breaks, the Plain Dealer puts it together. Clark Lift of Cleveland and Clark Lift of Elyria. Clark gets the tough jobs done. The Athletic Attic, Euclid Square Ball. They'll have you running and playing your best this fall.
The Athletic Attic is a unique sporting goods center located in the Euclid Square Mall. The Athletic Attic is owned by John Hicks, the All-American football star from Ohio State. There isn't a better place to shop for your sporting needs, because the Athletic Attic is where the experts are to guide you and fit you in your selections. There's so much to choose from, too. Top name brand equipment in all sorts of styles. They carry everything for the jogger, Cleveland's newest craze. And it's so important to have an expert help you to find the proper fitting shoe. The Athletic Attic has sharp-looking warm-up suits and very chic tennis togs and jogging shorts, all the latest styles. They sell in string tennis rackets, too, and the experts will make sure your whole family has the perfect size racket for them. And for you football players, they have a complete line of football shoes, including Puma, Spot Build, and Pony. Stop out to see John Hicks at the Athletic Attic in the Euclid Square Mall. They'll have you running and playing at your best this fall.
In the Browns locker room now with Sam Ratigliano, and Coach, I guess if you're going to do it in front of 80,000 here at the stadium and 80 million across the country, it's nothing like doing it right.
Well, I think it's, it's a major step, for the Cleveland Browns and, of course, for the city of Cleveland. I think it's great, and, we're going to savor it while we can, because tomorrow we'll be getting ready for Houston. But I think it's, obviously the most dramatic win that I've ever been involved in. And I must say, with all due candidness, that I just think it's great for the city of Cleveland, and I think that's important.
Sam, a lot of people will say that the Browns, the Cowboys did not play that well. They'll say that they fumbled the ball, but there were some hits out there that made those fumbles count.
Yeah, I think that, it's a game where we were getting hit too, and we didn't fumble the ball, and, we had an interception, but, those are the breaks of the game. Those are the things that you can't do. They've happened to us, and you lose as a result of it. But I think that we played opportunistic football defensively. We bent, but we never really broke.
I was going to say, a lot of credit has to go to a lot of players who played exceptionally well tonight, but I think some credit has to go to the coaching. It doesn't look like that we were surprised by anything Dallas had to offer.
No, I said all along, I think the greatest ability is to select men of ability, and I know all these guys personally and professionally, and they've done a great job ever since we've been here in coaching. Sometimes you do your best, on a losing course, but they're a great group of people, and the chemistry's great, and they did a great job tonight. But they've done a great job all along.
Sam, one final question. As you pointed out, you don't have long to savor it, because now you've got, while you had the long week to get ready for Dallas, you've got the short one to get ready for Houston, AFC Central Division opponent. Very important.
That's right. And, they're a fine football team, and, we only have one day really to get ready. Tomorrow we give the players off, and Wednesday we go right back to work. So,
all right. Congratulations. A great victory.
Thank you, Jim.
We'll be back with more from the Browns locker room right after this timeout.
The theme of the Olympics, a familiar sound to be sure. This is Kurt Gowdy for your Clark Lift Truck dealer. Another familiar symbol of the Olympic Games is the traditional 5 rings that form the Olympic seal. The 5 different colors, blue, yellow, black, green, and red, were chosen because at least one of them appears on the flag of every nation in the world. That seal also appears on a white Olympic flag, symbolizing world peace. The flag was introduced and flown for the first time at the 1920 Games in Antwerp, Belgium. About this time, Clark was raising its flag over a newly completed lift truck plant and headquarters in Battle Creek, Michigan. The plant was designed to produce the first lift truck with an hydraulic mast or upright, a milestone in the material handling field. The Clark name symbolizes quality of performance in lift trucks. They make your job easier.
Get your tough jobs done. Call Clark Lift of Cleveland or Clark Lift of Elyria.
All right, with me now is the fellow who caught one of Brian Sykes' touchdown passes, Dave Logan. Dave, some key receptions out there. You guys got it when you had to have it. I guess that's the whole bottom line.
It was a big game for us, Jim. We went into this game with the saying that we could throw the ball in Dallas, and although we got kind of conservative in the second half, when we got that quick 20-point lead, and we kind of tended to sit out a little bit. But I'm elated with the win. I think everybody here, this proves that we can play with the best of teams, and we're looking forward to Houston next week.
Obviously, you guys had a little something extra going into this football game because it was on national TV and because you felt like everybody was saying, well, they want to prove they can play with the big boys. That gets you up, doesn't it?
We did. We wanted to prove, like I said, that we could go out and play with the best teams in the NFL because everybody had been saying that we've been playing low caliber type teams in the NFL and winning by the lowest of margins. So we had something to prove, and I think tonight we proved that we can go out and play with those type teams.
I wonder kind of what's going through the Cowboys' mind having been beaten so soundly. Did anybody say anything to you as you were going off the field out there?
Well, I talked to Randy Hughes, and I played against him at Oklahoma University for 4 years. He just said, nice game, you guys kicked our butt. They made some key mistakes offensively, fumbling the ball, and it's something that you really can't explain, that type of team doing that, but it kept them out of the game, and it really helped us increase our lead.
Well, I think you can explain it when you see a hard-hitting defense like the Browns had tonight. That forces some fumbles.
Yeah, you've got to give our defense a lot of credit because I think they came to play. They worked hard all week. I think the pass rush was vastly improved, and I think they just played great football.
All right, Dave, congratulations.
Thanks, Jim.
We'll be back with another interview from the Browns locker room in just a minute.
When sports news breaks,
Describe the two interceptions.
Okay, the first one, we were in what we call our nickel defense, which is the fifth defensive back. And my responsibility is to basically make it look like I'm deep and then play the intermediate area. So when I faked going deep and I saw Roger look one way and he came off to the off back, I took a gamble and shot up in front of him, and unfortunately the ball came right to me.
Of course, you did a pretty good number down the sidelines there. There really wasn't anybody had a shot.
That's true, and all I wanted to do was hit Taylor.
All right, now the second one, you sort of made a catch there like a second baseman. You had to scoop it.
Yeah, well, I took a little bit off of Dwayne Cochran and all.
And you had to catch it a couple times, I know.
Yeah, that's right. It was a blitz coverage, and every time that we had been in blitz before, Roger had thrown an inside pattern to Drew Curtis, so I basically took a gamble. When my man blocked, I was able to free up, and I went right to the inside pattern, and I thought he would run, and he did, and just happened to be right there.
Tom, you guys did a good job of really shutting down the running game, and of course the passing game, he picked up some yardage, most of it across that middle you were talking about to Pearson, but it was like, they say the Texas defense or the Dallas defense flexes but doesn't give. Tonight that was the case for the Browns.
Yeah, well, a few years ago we used to be known as the rubber band defense. I guess you could say that was what we were tonight. We gave up a lot of yardage, but we really didn't break. And anytime you can hold a team like Dallas to 7 points, that's definitely a great defensive effort.
Tommy, they didn't really surprise you with anything, did they?
No, they really didn't. They're pretty a basic team. They come out with a lot of different formations which try to screw up your defensive calls, but once they settle down into a regular formation, it's pretty basic.
All right, congratulations. Great game, TD.
Thanks, John. Waiting for my coach.
You got him, babe. We'll be back with more from the Browns locker room in just a minute.